by going to hims.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
From our home to yours, we hope you have a happy and healthy holiday season and a prosperous new year. Happy holidays from the team at Earth Fair. Since 1975, we've been reading the labels so you don't have to. Shop smart and live healthy with Earth Fair.
Wishing you a magical holiday season and all the best in the new year. Happy holidays from European Wax Center, Asheville. Stay gorgeous.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God, the Jets killed him.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat for a very special edition of the Sportsocracy. This is day one. It's day one of when the world changed. At least the world changes in Chapel Hill. Bill Belichick going to the North Carolina Tar Heels. Will it matter? Will it not? We'll get at all of it today. It's a Threadbare Thursday as well, so if you are subscribed to the channel, you can join us in the chat and throw in your topics for a Threadbare Thursday. Anything you want to talk about regarding college football, coaching changes, recruiting, we got the draft miss season is here. The first mock draft's going to be coming out real soon. So if you want to lobby for somebody to get into the first mock draft of Flostradamus, you could do that in today's program.
You still haven't told the biggest story of the day.
What?
I need you to go into your little Rolodex of songs over there.
Okay.
And find me a particular song.
Okay.
About roads in the country. Taking me home to them.
Oh, yes. Where?
Because it's that day.
It's not in its spot. It's not where it usually lives.
Hey,
what?
Can I just give a PSA for people that come in our studio? Stop touching stuff.
Stop
or you're about to see the bad side of Jeremy Green.
And when the bad side of Jeremy Green crops up, he needs a little soothing.
Country roads,
take me home to the place I belong. Rich Rodriguez, baby, he's back. I left, he left, and now we're all reunited.
We're all
back.
So good. We're all back, just in time for you to abandon Florida State.
Yeah, actually, you know what? It's probably a good time to go Florida State. Dead to me. I can't do it anymore. Hey, guess what? We got a quarterback to transfer portal that's the same height you were when you were 8. Sweet.
Not excited about Tommy Castellanos. Apparently,
I knew it was coming. Unfortunately,
he was. I mean, you were singing his praises just 2 years ago.
I got a text about that 2 or 3 days ago, and it was a friend of mine that's also a Florida State booster, and my response was, "Please stop texting me these things. They're not making me happy. They're only serving to make me angrier."
So he was good enough for, what was it, Boston College?
Yeah,
or Syracuse? Which one was it?
There's a lot of he was at
Boston College, yeah.
There are a lot of guys that are good enough for the rest of you. We held ourselves in slightly higher esteem.
Right. When Boston College was almost beating you, or did they beat you? They did beat you in that red bandana game. You were singing his praises.
They lost to us in the red bandana game. They beat us this year.
Okay.
That was
but they
Tommy
almost
Castellano
beat you,
yes.
right? That was the championship year. They almost beat you in the red bandana game. And like I said, you were singing his praises then. Now he's your team, and you're like, I can't do it.
That's kind of like when you have a friend that's a little bit of a loser, and he introduces you to his girlfriend, and you're like, she is awesome for you. You found a woman that could stand your presence for more than 7 consecutive seconds. you should hold on to her like grim death. Nate, no.
Good for thee, not for me.
Correct.
Yeah, I got you.
Correct.
All right. One set of garnet and gold is fine.
Yeah.
The other, not so much. All right. Yeah, we got all kinds of movement going on in college football. Coach hirings are being made. We've got Week 15 of the NFL coming up this week. We'll talk about the biggest winners of the year so far in football, the biggest surprises.
I'll go ahead and tell you, that number one pick, feeling like Sammy D, MVP.
Could be. It could be.
Have you read that story that Adam Schefter put out that they have had no talks about a long-term extension?
It's kind of surprising to me, but
how is that even possible?
But I mean, is that a discussion best left for immediately after the season?
I would not risk that. I would have already told his agent, look, you got two choices. You can play on a franchise tag or we work something out. Your call, but you will be the Minnesota Viking next year, big dog.
I mean, would he leave? Would he want to leave?
Oh, you realize how bad the quarterback market is this year?
I was going to say, you've
had two quarterbacks, one of whom's daddy is not going to let him play anywhere but Las Vegas.
Right.
The other one, he's fine. I mean, I like him. Fine. Who's the third best quarterback?
But I'm saying the only relevant play you've ever had in your NFL career has now come with this coach and this coaching staff. There's no shot that they're gonna not offer him, or I wouldn't think that they would give him a super low ball offer. I don't care if the next team is offering $5 million more than the Minnesota Vikings want to. Is that a move that you would make sorely based on the money?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Daddy's going to get that bag because I got manhandled my first 6 years in the NFL.
Then you would deserve whatever
Papa
you get.
going to get that bag.
And then you would deserve whatever you get. You go play for the New Orleans Saints and see how that works out for you.
So I just pulled the list of free agent quarterbacks this upcoming season.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is not – if he's on this list, he's really low because he's on a one-year deal. Russell Wilson is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's no shot he's getting out of Pittsburgh.
No.
We agree on that,
yes.
Right? Other than that, I'm going to read them in order. Sam's at the top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to take a guess at who the funniest name that could be the second name on this list would be, who would it be?
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston is on this list, but he's at 10.
I don't know. I can't think.
Think about Sam Darnold and who would be funniest to be underneath him. Allow me to ask this a different way. Who replaced him in New York?
Oh, Zach Wilson.
Cherub boy, Zach Wilson. That's number 2.
I had forgotten he was even in the league.
That's number 2. Then you go Trey Lance, Jacoby Brissett, Taylor Heinicke, Marcus Mariota, Drew Owen, 0 for 8 lock, Jared Stidham, Andrew Dalton, Justin Fields, Joe Flacco, Jameis Winston.
Mm-hmm.
That is what you fellers are going to be fighting over that need quarterbacks. So, yeah, if I'm Sam Darnold, listen here right now. I don't just need money. I need big boy dollars. Because he's the only 7 in a bar full of cretins.
Mm-hmm.
We're not even registering on the scale anymore.
Yeah, but he's
the
also
other options here have hooves.
Yeah, but he's also a 7 with heavy makeup on.
It's
like
fine.
when you get away from all that and the showering happens and everything, you're waking up with a 3 and you're like,
Have I ever told you my theory about crystal cheeseburgers?
What's that?
People always say, "Oh, they're so good." Are they that good, or were they just the only option open in many college towns? When you're starving after a night of binge drinking, a crystal cheeseburger turns into steak tartare.
Oh, those crystal cheeseburgers are
awful
and not great.
They're
not great.
Terrible.
Crystal chicks, on the other hand,
also awful.
No, you stop
They're
that.
also awful.
You stop that.
I've only had
That's the second best chicken sandwich on the market.
Your palate bothers me.
Those things are glorious.
I mean, I understand at one time you were a big old bigot.
Uh-huh.
You're not anymore, which means it's time to refine that palate away from whatever is closest to my gullet.
No. Crystal Chicks are worth the drive.
Outside, I would drive maybe to my truck to get one.
Then you ain't had one in a long time.
I have.
Them babies are good. Them babies are good. So, yeah. Sam Darnold without Justin Jefferson.
Don't care.
And Jordan Addison.
You're looking at this the wrong way. We've got 9 teams that are absolutely desperate for quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Darnold will get $50 million on the open market.
Really?
You mark my words.
$50 million.
We have our first super chat of the day.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
It's from Red Sea, who said Darnold's contract is getting more and more expensive with each completion. Yep. Sure is. It sure is.
Good luck, boys.
Because you've got a slew of teams.
Yeah.
I don't think it's untoward to pay Sam Darnold that much money.
Okay.
I really don't.
Okay.
Jordan Love got 55.
I know.
I've never seen Jordan Love be as good as Sam Darnold was Sunday.
I agree.
And you get mad at me all you want to. Facts don't care about your feelings. You either agree with me or you're wrong.
Yeah.
That's it.
Sam Darnold has played better than Tua, definitely, this year. Right? His numbers probably stack up from this year to Tua's MVP ghost year 2 years ago. Trevor Lawrence. That's another one. He's better. Better, no doubt. No doubt about it. Jalen Hurts. He's playing better than Jalen Hurts right now. All these quarterbacks that just got massive money. This is what I was trying to talk about the other day. Like, at some point, we got to stop doing this. We got to stop rewarding guys for one good year. Because Sam Darnold, anywhere other than Minnesota, I don't like your chances.
He goes back to the New York Jets. I like his chances a lot.
Behind an offensive line that can't block, which was the problem that he had everywhere else.
The offensive line coach is the problem, not the talent.
Okay.
Look at the 5 guys starting on that offensive line and tell me talent's the problem.
Oh, I get that it should be good. It's just not. And that's always been his problem. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, do I want him to go to the New York Giants? No, but I don't think that's going to be a problem.
You think it's going to be an all-out bidding war? $55 million.
I think you have 2 draftable first-round quarterbacks total.
Yeah.
Who's your 3? Just off the top of your head, who would be your 3rd quarterback in this class? I can tell you mine, and you're not going to like it.
Oh, man, I guess it would have to be Quinn or Carson.
Quinn is a lot of people's. Carson is a lot of people's. Jackson Dart is mine.
Yeah, that one fits as well.
And even with him, a lot of people will say he only works in one kind of system.
Right.
Well, what do you think these teams are going to do? I mean, I'm asking an honest question here. I'm not telling you he's going to get 6 years for $300 million. Am I telling you it makes 100% sense that a team could go 3 years for $150, match it?
Mm-hmm.
Because the franchise tag, I don't know that number off the top of my head, but it would be in the $50 million range.
Yeah.
It would have to be.
Yeah, top 10% of money.
Too many contracts that kick in next year.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about it.
So, yeah, I mean, he's going to get a bag.
I'd be much more willing to go down that path.
Of which?
They're just 1 year.
Well, you're not.
I know.
Nobody but Minnesota can do that.
Precisely. I mean, I don't know that somebody's coming with 60. And that's
nobody's
what
coming with 60. I didn't say 60.
And that's what
60
it would
making the highest paid quarterback in the league.
Right,
That's not happening.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. You could come with 60, and I would think, I don't know. Maybe I should stick with where I'm good. As long as they're offering in the ballpark, I don't need the most money. I need the best situation that's going to get me into the future.
I want long-term security.
Mm-hmm.
And if the reason you're not talking to me about an extension is because you, honest to God, think you're getting ready to turn this over to J.J. McCarthy, you're too stupid to breathe, and I need out of here right now.
Mm-hmm.
Look, for me, that would be absolutely clinically insane. Sam Darnold's going to be a Pro Bowler, whether you like it or not. That's the way this is fixing to go.
Yes.
Because it will be Jared Goff, Stafford, and Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
That would be your 3 NFC Pro Bowlers.
Sounds right.
I don't see any way it goes any other way.
Mm-hmm.
You can say 1 year or not.
He's had a great year.
And trust me, I fully understand I don't want to commit to a quarterback long term. The problem is it is so hard to get one.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm with you. I don't want to give gigantic money to guys I don't believe in. The difference is that I believe in Sam Darnold way more than I believe in the guys that you've already given money to.
Right.
Jordan Love or Sam Darnold. I asked this on social media the other day. I was dumbfounded how many people said Jordan Love. You do understand that there is physically nothing that you can tell me that's not strictly an opinion that would back that up. Nothing.
No stats.
You don't have a stat that would back that up. Interception rate's higher.
Right.
Sack rate's higher.
Right.
I mean, I can do this for a minute.
And Sam's only, what, a year older?
I think
he's
that's
26
right.
and 25, I think?
Sam's 27. He won't be 28 until June.
All right, so maybe
by 2 years.
So maybe he's got 2 years on him.
I think Jordan Love was a reasonably old prospect.
Yeah, and look, I will say
Jordan
this.
Love's he's a year younger than
There
Sam
you go. And look, I will say this. I would much rather give Sammy D the money than giving Jordan Love the money. Right? I'm not saying that this is – all I'm saying is it feels like it's a bad idea to go all in on a dude who has one great year.
Well, then you'll lose him. I mean, and in a lot of years, I would agree with you. Mm-hmm. Oh, there are restoration projects. I could try to find the next Sam.
Oh, there's nothing out there.
There is nothing there.
Right.
You're going to be rolling out $25 million to Jameis Winston. Or I could see Justin Fields getting $20 million for a year.
Yes, I could.
That's how bad this is.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't have any alternative. You're going to be starting Drew Lock. And I get it. But think about who these teams are. You're talking about the Giants rolling with Brian Daboll because everything I've heard, he is not getting fired. You're talking about Cleveland with Kevin Stefanski because everything I've heard is he is not getting fired. You're honest to God telling me that a whole front office whose future is on the line is going to roll out Justin Fields. Because if you believe that, you need to see my doctor friend here at the laboratory downtown who is going to take a specimen in a cup because you are high on drugs. It's just not going to happen. So, I mean, you got to look at the market at some point. And if you're Minnesota, you're in kind of a window here. I wouldn't be shocked if Minnesota wound up in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be surprised? Sure. Shocked? No.
Yeah. I mean, they're one of the three best teams in the NFC. And, yeah, I mean, you could see a path for it happening. I would be supremely shocked if they won it all.
Andrew Ayers echoed the same thing you did. One great year with the best receiver in the league.
Right.
All right. Daniel Jones had one mediocre year with no receiver and got $40 million.
Yes.
When that was a ton of money. And he wasn't even as ballyhooed of a prospect as Darnold is.
Mm-hmm.
He was more highly thought of than Daniel Jones even after that year.
But is that not evidence that we shouldn't jump to this on every single one of these like we do?
You don't have a choice.
Okay.
You can lose him and roll with J.J. McCarthy, and all of you are going to be fired in a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's up to you. But there's two sides of this coin. Because if Sam becomes your franchise, and you started chasing him right now, telling him, we believe in you, you have the best trade chip on the board. Because you've got 7 teams here that are going to draw snake eyes on a quarterback with nowhere to turn. All right, I'll ask you another question. Trade target. Let's say there is a quarterback somewhere that you're absolutely in love with. Backup quarterback that you think if he got a shot as a starter would have a legit shot to be good. Yeah. Who is it? This is the first time in 25 years I can't answer that question. Because there's not one out there.
Mm-hmm.
So you have J.J. McCarthy who might be worth 3 first-round picks. That mitigates all the risk with Sam. You pay him too much money. Who cares? I got 3 extra ones, or even on the low side, I got 2 extra ones and some extra draft capital. That paid a lot of Sam's deal.
Yeah.
If you can scout in even a conscious way, that made up for all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just added 2 premier prospects that I have under team control for 5 years, which is the length of this deal at longest. I don't even think it'd be that long. This is front office 101. And Minnesota seems to be screwing this up. Because I asked the question, why is this out there?
Just because they haven't talked to him?
I would have already told the agent the minute this season's over.
Mm-hmm.
You figure out what it is you want, we'll sign it. Because if you let him walk out the door, you're morons.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Because that's how you get fired. Look at the coaches that are going to get fired this year. Robert Saleh already did.
Yes.
Why? Because you had a fan base that thought they were going to win 10, 11, 12 games and compete for a playoff spot, and they won 3. You let Sam Darnold walk out the door, he may not be as good as he's been here. He makes the playoffs, and you go 4-13 with J.J. McCarthy. Hey, guess what? I hope you were renting because your zip code's fitting to change.
Mm-hmm.
We have another super chat.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Eamon Report said his projection is Sam Darnold will get at least $40 million a year. I don't see how it's any lower than that, and the only way it's that low is if he takes a hometown discount to stay in Minnesota.
Yes. The money's going to be high.
Mm-hmm.
I don't live in some fantasy world where Sammy D, because I have apprehensions that he's going to be able to do this longer, is going to get less money. Don't get me wrong on that. I wonder if that factors into the calculation of all of these guys who got one great year and then got the bag, and then what's happened? Like, none of them have paid off.
All right, we got to take a commercial break.
Yeah.
After the break, I want to talk about these guys that have gotten that bag after 1 year. I think there's an element to that story that you're missing.
All right. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Hope is found in God's promises. Let's share the message of hope through our gifts to others. ABCCM's 7 ministries provide food, shelter, medical services, and real hope and healing to people in crisis. Your gift transforms lives at abccm.org.
When you're ready to go back in the day,
y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
Check out the all-new Throwbacks 101.1.
This is how we do it.
Allow me to introduce myself. Asheville's classic hip-hop and R&B. Come on.
To their patients, friends, and family throughout Western North Carolina, Summit Dental is doing everything they can to continue providing exceptional safe dental care for our community. They're taking every safety precaution during this time. Their water system for patients is self-contained, and they're only using bottled distilled water for their patients' needs. Whether you're a current patient at Summit Dental or you're looking for a new dental provider, they're back to work and ready to support you and your family and any of your dental needs that you may have. Call today, 828-277-6868.
Accomplishing goals is hard. But when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. Babbel is designed with you in mind. From expert-created lessons to conversational video units and even live classes, you can personalize your Babbel experience to be exactly what you need to really learn a new language more easily. Go ahead, set a goal for yourself. Accomplish it with Babbel. Try Babbel for free. Go to BABBEL.com. That's Babbel.com.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup Revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the tailgate.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
Christmas.
Hurry, they're going to be up soon.
When families and communities come together in the spirit of peace on earth and goodwill towards men.
Operation Silent Night and Stone Effect. Okay, we're ready.
At Ingalls, we know that Christmas isn't just a holiday. It's a feeling to embrace all year long. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
The Sportsocracy.
So you are a regular nuclear meltdown. You better cool off.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. You can converse with us in the chat on the YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com and subscribe to the channel. All right, so Jeremy, you say I'm looking at this in maybe not the smartest way.
No,
maybe not your
not
three-dimensional chess way. Is this one of those?
It's not even that. There's an element of it that I think you're forgetting.
Okay.
All right, so you mentioned these bad quarterback contracts.
Yes.
I'm not disagreeing with you that there are bad quarterback contracts.
Yes.
Who are they?
I would say
just go one at a time.
I would say right now Tua would be one.
All right, so Tua is that's a good example of a bad-ish contract. The only thing that I would tell you is that through 9 games, he's thrown 17 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a 63 QBR right now.
Mm-hmm.
Their problems are not Tua Tagovailoa. I think that's a bad deal, and it's going to age like milk.
Yes.
Because right now his best receiver is Jonnu Smith, which I don't even kind of understand.
Right now is that happening.
But Tua Tagovailoa was a pretty flawed prospect coming out.
Mm-hmm.
There is a reason that no team didn't have Joe Burrow in front of him. A lot of teams had Justin Herbert in front of him. There was a flaw there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who else you got?
Trevor.
Trevor Lawrence was a generational prospect. If you look at him in a vacuum, take where he was drafted out of it, he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
He's not elite, but the difference between him and Justin Herbert is negligible at best. One of them plays for the Chargers that has a lot of talent. One of them plays for the Jaguars that has none. If you swap places with those guys right now, and I'm going to use him as I'll use Justin Herbert as my benchmark.
Okay.
Because I've never in my life heard anybody say Justin Herbert's deal was a bad contract.
No.
If Tua Tagovailoa and Justin Herbert switch places right now, did the Chargers get better or worse?
I would say they got worse.
They got worse, but do you think it affected their win-loss record in any way? Maybe a game.
Maybe a game.
Maybe
Yeah,
a game.
Maybe.
If Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert switch places, does it change even a game? Because I don't think so.
Really?
I think they're the same guy. I think they're the exact same guy. One of them's just in a terrible situation.
Okay.
Who else you got?
Well, I like to use Jordan.
Jordan Love's a good one. He was a super flawed prospect that nobody I know believed in.
Mm-hmm.
Not one.
Mm-hmm.
His breakthrough year, last year with Green Bay, he'd been the same guy both years. Thrown a lot of interceptions, thrown a lot of touchdowns, and got a lot of yards.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Darnold beats him in every statistical category through 13 games. All of them. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
Less interceptions, more touchdowns. The only thing that Jordan Love does better than Sam Darnold, he doesn't get sacked as much.
Right.
And then your final one usually is Jalen Hurts.
Oh, yeah, Jalen
That
Hurts.
one's it's harder to make the metric there because he runs in a way that these other guys don't.
Mm-hmm.
So a statistical or analytical comparison does not really play there. Now let me ask you this question. Take all 4 of the guys you just said. Jalen Hurts,
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, Tua Tagovailoa. Switch them with Sam Darnold. Those teams get any worse? Because I would say no.
Oh, do any of their teams get any worse?
The
No.
Philadelphia Eagles, Green Bay Packers, Jacksonville Jaguars, Miami Dolphins.
No.
Any of them take a big step back with Sam Darnold?
No.
The one you didn't say was Daniel Jones because nobody with an IQ above salad dressing actually believed that was going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the GM of the New York Giants did not have an IQ above salad dressing. People forget Sam was a ballyhooed prospect that a lot of people like me believed in a lot.
Yes.
So the fact that you saw him be terrible, I get it. I get it. You just don't want to believe in it. You're not going to have a whole lot of choice.
No, I'd just be more comfortable if I could get him in the Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers range at that 37.5. I would feel way better. I know I'm not.
Well, you know what? I'd feel a lot better if I could get every good quarterback in the league at Pat Mahomes' deal. Unfortunately, most of them don't want to do that.
Sure. And I see why they don't want to.
You know what I would like a lot more is if my double quarter pounder still cost 13 cents like it used to.
But it doesn't. And it ain't gonna. Do I want to bite off that apple? Do I want to make him the next $55 million failure? Because I feel like that's where all of this is going. Like, we're going to look at Dak Prescott and his $60 million, and that's going to be one of the worst deals we've ever seen. Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence.
You said we. Unless you got a mouse in your pocket, don't lump me into we.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think Dak Prescott's one of the worst deals that ever happened. He was a third-round pick that you just kept paying.
Mm-hmm.
Do I love that you paid him that much money? No. If you could draft in any way, I mean, you've made the playoffs how many times? You didn't make a Super Bowl. Do you know the quarterbacks that are active that have won Super Bowls right now? Not a real long list.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but you don't think that that's going to be a bad deal for them down the road?
I mean, how much worse can it be than it is right now? You're awful.
But you're paying $60 million to be awful.
Is that Dak Prescott's fault?
I mean, he ain't helping out a lot.
Well, he's on the sideline right now.
Well, I mean, I get he's hurt right now, but it hasn't helped when he was on the field.
Well, it really would help if he wasn't throwing to Jalen Tolbert and Ryan Flournoy.
Sure, absolutely.
No, I don't look at Dak's deal as some god-awful albatross. I would not have done it solely because it put a ceiling on me.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're telling me my options are throw a rookie back there, when we've had flawed class after flawed class after flawed class, you would have been 3-14 way faster.
Mm-hmm.
You would be that 5-9 you are right now way faster.
Right.
And if you're a win-now team, why would I do that? Jordan Love, I don't see him ever winning a Super Bowl. Say the same thing about Jalen Hurts. Say the same thing about Tua Tagovailoa. I still believe in the talent of Trevor Lawrence. See, to me, that's the apples-to-apples comparison. Ballyhooed prospect, where it's been kind of touch and go. If you were being really honest with yourself and I told you any name that I've said in the last 7 minutes won a Super Bowl, which one would you put your money on?
Of the teams you were just talking about?
No, of the quarterbacks I was just talking about. Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love, Tua Tagovailoa, Trevor Lawrence, Sam Darnold.
Jalen.
It's Trevor, and it's not even kind of close. And I know for a fact you don't believe that Jalen Hurts will ever go in and beat a Pat Mahomes. Because in crunch time, you have to make the play. Okay. So if you put Jalen Hurts right now on the Jacksonville Jaguars, how many games do they win? 4?
Yeah, maybe.
That's what you're worth. If Trevor Lawrence was the quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, they'd be better than they are at this current moment. And I don't even think it's debatable. Now you're getting into talent, not results. Results-based signings and results-based drafting, that's how you end up paying Daniel Jones $40 million. Well, Sam Darnold's been terrible. Okay, let him walk out the door. And trot out your little untested rookie and watch how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a book, I don't even have to get to the end to tell you how it ends.
Right.
And I told you that at the draft last year.
You did, and I told you were crazy. But here we are. Sam Darnold is
going to get votes for MVP.
I mean, of course he is, which is weird. Hey, is this year that Russell Wilson finally gets some votes for the MVP? You think somebody's going to give him one?
No,
that's right.
He missed all his games.
He missed what? 4 games at the beginning of the year?
I thought it was 6.
I don't think it was that many. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
I can tell you pretty quick.
Yeah.
He has played a grand total this year of 7 games. So, yes, he missed the first 6 games.
Yeah, okay. All right. So he missed more than I thought he did.
Russell Wilson's another one of those that the way you look at him is funny to me. How many touchdowns does Russell Wilson have right now? In 7 games. He's played almost half season.
Yeah, like 14.
You're too high. It's 12.
12?
It's 12. We're talking about him winning MVP. He's got 12 touchdowns the entire year.
Yeah.
But Sam Darnold, who has 28 and 6 more games, oh, he's a bum. He'll go somewhere else and be a disaster. The moving scale some of you operate on is just comical to me.
Well, no, I mean, it's because we've seen him be bad everywhere else, which
I've seen Russell Wilson look like he got hit in the head with a claw hammer for 3 solid years.
Yeah, sure.
And he got older.
Mm-hmm.
One of these guys is 36 years old. One of them is 27. I'm going to go out on a limb and say one of them's played their best football, and that last 3 years is probably a lot closer to what they really are.
I'm just saying it's going to be funny if Sam Darnold gets an MVP vote before Russell Wilson does.
That would make me laugh a lot. It would make me laugh, and it would be an odd vindication.
Because in all his years, he's never gotten one.
Listen here, voters for MVP. Call me, bruh. I just need you to put him 5th. That's it. I just put him at 5, and we're fine.
Yeah, just somebody put him on the ballot, please. Oh, you're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM at 1400. It is a Threadbare Thursday. If you're able to, get on the YouTube. Send us a burning question for Week 15 or anything else going on in the sports world. We'll be right back.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Nice look at Thursday afternoon. However, as mentioned, the cooler air continues to spill on in. We'll stick with it here today. A little breeze gusting out of the northwest, adding just a little chill to our 45-degree high temperature. Tonight, some clouds, 25. Friday, partial sun, high 50. The weekend starts partly sunny, upper 40s. Showers coming in Saturday night, probably lasting through mid-morning Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. New deals on last-minute holiday finds just dropped at Lowe's. Save $600 on a Whirlpool fingerprint-resistant stainless steel side-by-side refrigerator. Offer valid 12/12 through 12/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
The PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get cashback offers in the app, and when you use the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
That looks perfect. The feeling of getting ready for the holidays, there's nothing like it. Decorating the tree, accessorizing the table, adorning your walls with festive decor, what could be better? Whether you're doing the hosting this holiday or just enjoying some much-needed downtime with your favorites, at Ashley you'll find all the things you need to make your home as jolly as can be at prices that slay. Spruce up your space for the holidays with Ashley. Visit your local Ashley or shop online at ashley.com.
Experiences make life more meaningful. And with MasterCard's Priceless.com, you can immerse yourself in unforgettable experiences in dining, sports, art, entertainment, and more in over 40 destinations. From a round of golf with a legendary player to a cooking class with a celebrity chef, you can feel your passions and create lasting memories. Explore experiences today at Priceless.com, exclusively for MasterCard cardholders. Terms and conditions apply.
The slow-roasted Cantina chicken menu is here to stay, with ingredients like purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. Try it today at a participating U.S. Taco Bell location while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the hardest hit areas in those first hours. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. One job, Tank Spencer. It's time to get just a bit outside.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
All right, we are we're ready and
I had already
ready to
loaded
go
the button,
for
so sorry there was no visual. It was just two fat guys sitting here staring at each other.
No, that's fine. It's totally fine. Totally fine. What kind of story you got dug up for us today?
My story is excuse me, about the 2034 FIFA World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this before, and I get pushback virtually every time I say it.
Yes.
You do understand that these things are not quite as intriguing, and people don't want to win these bids the way that you think they do, right?
What do you mean?
So the World Cup and the Olympics are both what?
International sporting events.
Okay. We should have put some caveat on that because you went awful liberal on your answer.
Yeah. Pretty vague.
The downside of hosting both is what?
They cost a
They
ton
are
of money.
insanely expensive.
Yes. You have to build cities to host these things.
Well, the deadline for submitting your proposal for the 2034 FIFA World Cup was in October of last year.
Okay.
They have now disclosed the bids.
Mm-hmm.
Saudi Arabia won. You know that country that we were all upset that, we don't want to do this again. Do you know why they won?
Were they the only one?
Would you like to hear the other bids? Would you like to hear it again? That was the only one. Nobody else submitted. We're good. We don't want to do it. We don't want to spend that much money. We don't want to be stuck with the infrastructure.
Wow.
We're good.
That does kind of shock me that nobody else got in. I mean, I get, well, it doesn't make any sense to me. I was going to say, I get why America's not in it because, like, we're hosting it. Aren't we hosting it next year or something? Aren't we hosting the World Cup coming up?
We either hosted one or are getting ready to. I don't really remember which one.
We're getting ready to have an Olympics.
Yeah, and none of that really matters.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are starting to figure out there's no benefit to this. The TV rating is not high enough. I mean, right now, Olympic coverage doesn't even do an NFL number.
Mm-hmm.
And that's with it for 2 weeks out of every 4 years. It is just inundating you on every cable. But so many people don't have cable anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That was the benefit.
Every time we have one of these, you can wait till about the next Olympics to find out how bad it was in the last place. Right? Every 3 years, it seems like we have these massive expose stories from, any news outlet about, look at all the abandoned, multi-billion-dollar stadiums that we have. Like, I remember when Japan hosted it a few years back. Brazil. I've seen some nasty footage from Brazil and what the remnants of those stadiums look like after just 3 years of sitting dormant.
Most of them are just destroyed.
Yeah.
And they look like they're 75 years old.
Yeah. They look like the Silver Dome. And its latest stages before they tore it down.
The reason that I brought this story up is you're running into a problem in sports now. And I'm not going to say I didn't see it coming. I just didn't think it was going to happen this quickly. With people cutting the cord, and now you don't have people consuming your product. They're consuming it through streaming apps. It gets hard to sell television commercials. So it's really hard to justify the cost. So I'll use NBC for the Olympics because I know Fox has the broadcast rights. I just don't know what Fox does well enough to explain it the way I'm going to with the Olympics. What you sell ad rates for on a streaming service are considerably different than what you sell for on television. Because the beauty of television was that you could say, people are watching this right now because it's a television that's either mounted to the wall, it's in the living room, whatever the case may be. I know how many people were watching this. And your entity is out on television. With your cell phone, I don't even know that your cell phone's in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
You could be letting this run. I have absolutely no idea what you're doing. It's always been the difference in radio, too. Radio sells for a higher rate because what are you going to do? Get out of your car and let it drive itself? No. you're kind of stuck. So whatever that ad is, that's the ad you're going to hear. I don't know how some of these survive. I don't know where the money's supposed to come from. You just had a World Cup, supposedly the most watched thing in international competition. You had one bid.
Mm-hmm.
You had one bid from somebody you didn't want to accept it from, but you had to because nobody else was there.
Because that's the land of never-ending money. Who's shocked that places like Saudi Arabia and Qatar and, of course, they're getting into the game.
It's
that whole sports washing thing, right? I've got a bad international image. Let me try to host some sports and see if I can get a better image.
Can we just call that the strategic plan of Saudi Arabia? Because you keep saying that, but there's nobody else that's doing it but them.
Right, right, because they tried to do it with Liv.
Yes.
Right? Now they're going to do it with the World Cup. I mean, it's anything to try to hey, look over here. Look at all the shiny stuff we have.
Don't open that door. No.
There's mustard gas behind that door. Stay away.
We did horrible things back there, and you don't need to know that.
Exactly.
Look at this soccer match. Enjoy that.
Nobody needs to know how the sausage is made.
We have a super chat before you read your story.
Okay.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Sir Timothy, with one of the funnier super. Could you see it over there?
Yeah.
Read it.
He says, when can we hear the full email complaint from that dude?
Well, first of all, we get a lot of those.
Yes.
There's only a few that really tickle me to such a point that I want to poke at them.
And it's usually the ones with the most F's in it.
Oh, yeah. The people that swear a lot, we laugh aggressively. Like, they bring them down the hall to us and go, there you go. It does not have the effect you think it does. Hey, John.
Big fan. Nice writing.
Yeah.
You kiss your mama with those fingers?
Yeah. Here's the question that I have. Why did you abbreviate the one obscenity and then say it 6 more times?
Yes, it did.
I've read that like 6 times and laughed.
Well, it was one of those, like, he was trying to be nice-ish, but a little edgy.
Yeah.
And then as he kept typing, he just kept getting angrier and angrier. Yeah. Like, I can't believe those fat.
Yeah. Then he calls for us to be fired at the end. Yeah, it doesn't work that way, bro.
No.
If that's what you want, you should defecate in one hand and wish in the other and see which one fills up faster.
We cannot let you hear the full email complaint.
Meet me at a bar one day. I'll pull it up on my cell phone. Like, there it is.
Look at this dude. Yeah. So my story, I wanted to tell this yesterday, but something told me let's just wait and maybe we'll have more information on the situation tomorrow. Lo and behold, I guess there is an angle here for somebody. Some people are interested in this. Ariel Robinson from Star 104.3.
I really don't mean to call her by her maiden name.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband is a lovely individual. I never think about that until you call her that.
Yes.
I've called her Ariel. I've been doing a show with her for a week. I think I've called her Ariel Reimer 50 times.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's Robinson now. Ariel Robinson, though, from Star 104.3, this morning asked me, did you hear about Joe Burrow's house getting broken into? I said, yes. Yes, I did. And who was the girl that was at his house? No clue. I had not heard anything about this, but she pointed it out, and I thought, well, maybe this is an interesting angle. So Joe Burrow's house got broken into while they were on Monday Night Football. The house was not unoccupied, though. There was someone at the house. The person who called 911 was Sports Illustrated swimsuit model Olivia Ponton. I don't know who she is. I've never seen her before, but she says that she is an employee of Mr. Burrow, that she's supposed to do what? Why is she hanging out at your house while you're at work? Meanwhile, your girlfriend wasn't there. It just seems very odd to me. The life of a quarterback is very, very cool. I will say that much. And then when, he comes out and does the press conference yesterday or talks to the media yesterday, and he says, I feel like my privacy has been violated. That makes me think. Are you upset because the house got broken into, or are you upset because you got caught with another girl at your house? That's my question.
Let me just go ahead and tell you, as a guy that I think Joe Burrow and I think pretty similarly, I don't think he's upset that you know that girl was at his house.
He's probably upset his girlfriend knows it.
Does he have a girlfriend?
Yes. Apparently he's been in a relationship with this one girl for like 5 years. And that was what Ariel pointed out to me, because I thought, well, Joe Burrow's a single guy. What does it matter that he has a swimsuit model hanging out at his house? In fact,
I'd be shocked if he didn't have 5 or 6 of them.
Right. Like, as a single dude, I would imagine that he's probably got 5 hanging out just waiting for the game to be over.
Evan Doyle, our lifelong Bengal fan.
Yeah.
Joe broke up with his girlfriend before the season.
Oh, did he?
They
Okay. All right. Well, see, there you go.
Yeah,
I don't keep up with their private lives.
Now I'm disappointed, Joe. Why was there only one?
Why was there only one?
You ought to have the Spice Girls 2.0, bro. Coffee's for closers, and you look like Macaulay Culkin.
To me, that's an odd thing to say. It's an odd thing to say that I'm an employee of Mr. Burrow. Okay, but what were you doing at his house when he wasn't there? What could possibly? I mean, is this like a landman situation where he's living with his social media manager? Like they can't afford the rent, so he's splitting it with some, YouTube model?
I'm going to say the casting, you probably have the bit pieces right. I think you have her role wrong.
Yeah.
I believe she plays more of an Allie Larder role, if you will.
I would imagine. It seemed like a weird thing to tell people.
Red Sea with a super chat.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
He said, employee of Mr. Burrow.
Yes.
Insert air quotes as needed.
An employee. She runs the social media.
She's an employee, you say. What exactly is her role in Burrow Enterprises?
Stress reduction.
Has she seen his Batmobile?
Several times.
No good can come from anything I want to say right here.
No. Nothing good could come from that. It is a Threadbare Thursday, so don't forget you can throw out any topics that you would like to talk about on the program here.
Here's a topic I'd like to talk about. Why can we, as I Heart Asheville, not figure out an air conditioner? There are 2 temperatures in this room. What I like, which is about 61, or what it is right now, which is, I'm pretty sure I just saw Satan walk down the hall.
Yes. There's no doubt about it. This is the hottest place in Asheville.
There was a hooved creature that just walked across here with a pitchfork, and I think I know who that is.
Yes. There are spas that are not this hot. Like,
I feel like there should be a stone in the corner that we're dropping water on for ambiance.
Very much indeed. I'm going to need everybody else to go home so we can open that door here
for
real
sure.
soon.
Or just do me a favor, shut up so we can open that door.
Yeah. All right, we are coming up on the top of the hour here in the Sportsocracy. Threadbare Thursday. Again, throw out those topics on the YouTube. We'll get into more of the Bill Belichick situation, going to Carolina, talk about some of the big matchups of Week 15 as well. Do want to take this little minute here to remind everybody that the Ingles Magical Christmas Toy Drive, benefiting Evelyn Charity's St. Nicholas Project, has but one more day left. No, we haven't been on location like we do for the big push, but tomorrow is the last day that you can drop by toy donations for Eblin Charities at your local Ingles store. So all of those bins have to be collected tomorrow, and they will be setting up. I'm guessing that the Eblin store probably is open already.
It is.
Oh, okay. I did not hear the dates on
we
that.
talked about it on the morning show.
Okay, good. So the Eblin store is open. So those families that qualify for the help from Eblin Charities, EblinCharities.org, by the way, if you need to find out more information on that, can go and do the shopping for the family, for the holiday. So, Ingles Magical Christmas Toy Drive drop-offs at your local Ingles, each and every Ingles. That ends tomorrow. We'll be right back here on ESPN Asheville.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-431-8958. That's 800-431-8958.
No, I don't want to. No.
I knew there had to be a better way to get relief from joint pain aside from surgery and harmful medications.
That's football legend and dancing champ Emmitt Smith, who knows a thing or two about joint pain.
Turns out I was right. It's called QC Kinetics, and now tens of thousands of patients and counting all across the country, they're feeling amazing. They say, hey, Emmitt, you were right.
QC Kinetics zeroed in on a technology that is revolutionizing pain treatment. They are transforming patients' lives. The largest provider of non-surgical regenerative treatments using natural healing properties to help restore and repair aching knees, hips, shoulders, and backs. Call them today for your free consultation.
QC Kinetics. I knew there had to be a better way. I love it when I'm right.
QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Using a Clorox disinfecting wipe on your coffee table this cold and flu season feels like... It feels like being bold enough to laugh your weird laugh in front of everyone.
That was a good one.
With Clorox, clean feels confident. Clean feels good. Use as directed on hard, non-porous surfaces.
This year, we have plenty to celebrate. From reuniting with loved ones, to welcoming new family members, from rediscovering the great outdoors, to perfecting Let's Stay In. At Ingalls, we're so proud to play a part in your everyday adventures and all your celebrations. So here's to taking a pause and taking it all in. Merry Christmas from Ingalls.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Daniel, a veteran who accompanied law enforcement and other veterans to perform search and rescue operations. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Nice look at Thursday afternoon. However, as mentioned, the cooler air continues to spill on in, and we'll stick with it here today. A little breeze gusting out of the northwest, adding just a little chill to our 45-degree high temperature. Tonight, some clouds, 25. Friday, partial sun, high 50. The weekend starts partly sunny, upper 40s. Showers coming in Saturday night, probably lasting through mid-morning Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The slow-roasted Cantina chicken menu is here to stay, with ingredients like purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. Try it today at a participating U.S. Taco Bell location while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
This is Carolina basketball.
Flips it to R.J. Davis. Pump fake for 3. Now he'll take it. Count it! Count it, baby! Left corner to Trimble. Jab step. Drive. Foul. And the bucket.
On the Tar Heels Sports Network.
Drives left against Taylor. He's fouled again. I don't know how, but he got the bucket. Bonds with Trimble going down the center of the lane.
This is your radio home for the Tar Heels.
Asheville's home for the Tar Heels is ESPN Asheville.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and we're heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and that way you can join us in the chat and get your thoughts in on a
Threadbare Thursday?
Threadbare Thursday. Come on.
I don't usually yell that one.
I know. I just thought maybe I could get a rise out of you.
No, I yell what I want to yell. Okay? I am not a wind-up bully that you can just go, hey,
and go.
Dance, monkey, dance. Do it. Do it.
What are we paying you for?
I don't know. Ask John. Dude. Hi, John. We have a super chat.
John. Merry Christmas, John.
We love you even if you hate us. Red Sea, Jeremy, are you going to watch the Army-Navy game? Of course I am.
Yeah.
It is appointment television for me every year. We're supposed to be there, and I'm upset about it.
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm not upset that we didn't have to pay $700 ticket, which is what it currently is.
Woof. And weird that ticket price just seemed to skyrocket when both teams were good. I mean, of all Army-Navy games that you could ever get me to go to, this would be one of them.
It makes me angry that you have such derision of this.
Again.
It's so much fun to just go find a local watering hole and have a good old time with some veterans.
I mean, maybe.
Now, the only bad thing for you is that you would be, without a shadow of a doubt, incapacitated by 8 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yes. I mean, if I tried to drink with the veteran, I'm no better than that. I don't drink with veterans.
You tried with me enough times that I could see you doing some stupid things.
Yeah, but you're like in my mind, you're like right below veterans. Like veterans that's a little more hardcore. That's a level of pain that Jeremy, he kind of knows, but not really.
That's sustained. That's like marathon. I'm sprint. You try to keep up with me, it's going to go from 0 to 60 fast.
Right.
You try to keep up with them, you got to sustain 35 all day.
And I feel like we go through this every year. I have nothing against it. It's a great little pageantry, but all in all, the football game doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care who wins, Army or Navy. It's wonderful that the branches can get together and they can have that little fight. But I've got Army people in my family. I've got Navy people in my family. Hell, I've got a nephew who just graduated from the Navy Academy, or not the Naval Academy, but basic training. Like, it's awesome. I love seeing the dudes in their uniforms, and I support them all. I don't have to watch your football game because it doesn't mean anything.
Red Sea with another super chat.
Uh-huh.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Said go Navy, beat Army, which is a great time for me to say go Army, beat Navy.
Very good. Maybe now that I do have, my brother,
interest?
Right, my brother-in-law he's an Army vet. My wife is an Army vet. Their father is a Navy vet, and now the grandson is a Navy vet. So, I mean, maybe it gets more interesting in our family now. But
you had a rooting interest when you got to wife. By the way, just throwing this out there.
But even that, she doesn't care. It's not like she's lining up to watch the game. Like,
really? She
doesn't care.
That surprises me.
It's a football game. She loves Georgia football. She doesn't care about Army football. I mean, of course, on the day, she makes sure that our flag's out, right? She makes sure that we got the old Army flag out, the little garden flag out in front of the house, just to make sure that they beat Navy. But every other week of the year, she didn't care about Army football. So, I mean, I get
that's
it's
American
cool. And like I
Conference
said,
champion Army.
Yes,
by the way.
absolutely. And like I said, and this year this will be a reason to watch because you got two good teams. And it's hell, last year it was a pretty good game, wasn't it?
Oh,
Didn't
yeah,
it go down to the wire last year?
It's always a good game, no matter how good either one of them is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I support every one of those guys on that field, and I love the fact that they have signed up to serve our country and all of that. But
I was about to say that was the nice. the mean's coming.
But it's going to be a good year for the Army-Navy game, and that's why the tickets have gone to $700 to get in.
Oh, that was the last time I looked. I haven't looked today.
Oh man, I'm sure it's still climbing.
No, you can get $174.
$170. That's not bad.
That's not terrible.
Not bad. What's that? And they're having it up at FedEx. Is that what did you say it was up in up at the Commander Stadium?
It is, yes.
Yeah. Okay. In the YouTube chat, going back to real quick to what we were talking about last hour, Kelvin Joyner says, how long until the U.S. is going to host all the international sports, Olympics and FIFA and all of that? Not too long. Not too long, actually. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is being hosted in America. The 2028 Olympic Games are hosted by Los Angeles. So we'll have all of these international things. And it's always made sense for us, for the United States to host things like this. Because
we have venues.
Yeah, we have all of the stadiums, right? We've got a stadium in every state that could host one of these events. And they'll get good use out of them with the Olympics and FIFA coming. Yeah, but that's probably why Saudi Arabia was the only one in the bidding because, well, America wasn't going to jump in to host it again. They probably have a rule against that if you hosted it, you can't host it again in the next cycle or whatever. Who knows? I feel like hosting soccer in America forever would be a really bad idea.
No, we still wouldn't be good at it. So.
Right, we're still not good at it. Most of us don't care.
The men are not. The men are terrible.
Precisely. All right. Bill Belichick going to Carolina.
I'm wearing my very acceptable North Carolina team.
And very acceptable.
Very acceptable.
Very acceptable. The only thing very acceptable in Chapel Hill, sports-wise, for years, has either been women's soccer, field hockey. What else are we good at? Basketball, obviously. Baseball sometimes. And that's
never
about
been
it.
football.
That's about it. Football's never been our thing. If you would like to spend some time with a wonderful read on the old ESPN.com, a good friend of the program, Ryan McGee, wrote an article about Bill Belichick, the GOAT meets the Ram. Something's got to give here. Bill Belichick is the most celebrated, winningest coach in NFL history. Right? More Super Bowls than anybody ever thought of having. Mm-hmm. He's got 8 damn rings. From
6 as a head coach.
Right, 6 as a head coach.
9 as a head coach.
Yeah. So Carolina has been a program that has never been good at football. Not for a sustained period. They have like 6 10-win seasons in program history. We only have one since like 2005. If anybody was going to win in Chapel Hill, why couldn't it be Bill? This is like bringing Tom Brady to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sorry, my teams. I have now. I've got both of these guys connected to my favorite teams. It's just like when we brought in Tom Brady. Tom Brady, day one, before he took a snap, was the greatest quarterback the Tampa Bay Buccaneers NFL franchise had ever thought about having.
I said on social media that regardless of the outcome, this is the greatest day in the history of Carolina football. I did not think that was debatable, although a lot of people, including our buddy Sean Crow, seem to want to debatable it.
Ooh.
I just don't know. I don't know what you could. I don't even know what day you could be talking about.
I was going to say, now I'm interested to know what day you think rivals this.
I can't figure it out because you don't have. I mean, unless we're going back to.
Unless we're going to like 1980 when they won the ACC the last time, when Lawrence Taylor was in town.
This is better than that.
Of course it is.
This is better than that. But and it's not because of Bill. It's because this puts you. I can't stop comparing this to Deion Sanders because they're so similarly aligned to me. You're playing a game now that you don't have bullets in your gun. Bill Belichick and Deion Sanders both brought bullets.
Mm-hmm.
So the NIL space, I've got a story about NIL we'll probably do that in 2 segments. This kid just went into the portal. I would not touch him with a 10-foot pole. I'll tell you why. Just a little bit. Carolina didn't put the assets into it. They didn't put the time into it. They didn't put anything into it. Our buddy Jones Angel would usually be on with us right now. He's getting so many media requests, he physically could not come on with us.
Right.
That should tell you everything you need to know. That means you're getting looked at from places you've never gotten looked at from before. That means a lot. College football's become a beauty contest. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's the sport of cool. And it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Because you have to have some, dare I use a company term, you have to have some sizzle. Right? You got to have some reason to be in the limelight, to get in front of these kids. There have been so many people that have talked about, and so many, people have way more knowledge than I do, right? Some of these former this past weekend on the NFL coverage. If you were watching Fox, you heard Tom Brady and who was it? There were 2 others up there. Gronk was up there with him, and there was another Julian Edelman. Thank you. The former Patriots players who know all about Bill Belichick, and they were asked the question: how do you think he's going to relate to college kids? How do you think he fares on the recruiting trail? And none of them could see a path to him doing well in that type of a setting because it's not really who he is, right? When he had his players in there, Tom was making fun of him because he's going to go into a kid's living room and be like, well, we really don't want you. I mean, we could probably use you if you wanted to come here, but I can go find somebody that'll play here. Like, that's the kind of attitude that he had with guys like Tom. Remember all the stories that we had of Tom and Bill are butting heads because Bill's telling him that he's playing like crap? And like Tom Brady's getting that from Bill Belichick. How do you think that's going to make an 18-year-old freshman quarterback feel?
I don't think you're going to get the same Bill. I really don't.
I don't either. But
if you don't believe me, go read the Seth Wickersham article on ESPN.com.
Mm-hmm.
It is out of this world, and it details some things that I did not know.
Like what?
Basically, Bill's been blackballed out of the NFL, and that's why he wanted to do this.
Mm-hmm. Sir Jimothy had asked in the YouTube comments, were we surprised that, because he was surprised, I took it from his question, the way it was worded, that he didn't get offers from the NFL,
no,
but he did get offers from college football.
I'm not surprised by that for one very simple reason. Bill is a guy in the NFL. Last year there were 7 jobs. 6 of them had absolutely no interest in him. You also have to realize Bill has done a pretty good job of burning bridges. I mean, I'll tell you with my team, they would have hired Tammy Faye Baker before they hired Bill Belichick. That's how bad he burned that bridge on the way out.
She is a hell of a schemer.
We will never talk to you, ever. If you needed this job to save your life, we would sit back and watch it end. That's how bad it is. There is a hatred in that building for Bill Belichick that I cannot wrap my brain around. And it ain't the only room in this league that has that. Because there are guys that have been fired by him. There are guys that have worked for him that have just moved on to other ventures. And it wasn't a pleasant experience for them.
No, and you hear how former players of his, select former players of his, have talked about him, have opened up about him after Tom left, and after the questions of whether or not he should stick around. We had player after player coming to the media, going on podcasts, talking about how hard it was to play for a guy like that.
You know what changes people like that? Getting humbled. Bill's the most successful coach in NFL history. He's 15 wins behind Don Shula, and he's not going to be able to pay that off. He now knows that. When he took this job, that was a confirmation for him. I'm never passing Don.
Yep.
Because if he thought there was any chance he was getting an NFL job. The thing I didn't know is we've gotten to a point where I don't even know he wants an NFL job. Seth Wickersham detailed that, of the way the league has gone, the Bob Kraft thing, all of this has gone so badly. I did not realize Bob Kraft sandbagged him with the Atlanta Falcons. I have friends in that building that have never told me that. I get it. He wants to teach. He's always wanted to teach the game of football. And he started talking about his dad, who was an assistant here when he was a really little kid.
Like real little, like
two.
Like peeing his pants little.
Yeah, he was 2 years old. They were there for 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
I think he will be really, really good at this. And I know we all make jokes about his girlfriend, and I'm going to tell one of those right now. If you want to remember her age, it's pretty easy to remember. She is 24 years old. There are 24 hours in a day. Bill is 3 days because he's 72. That's the easiest way to remember that.
Hey, math is fun.
Math's good.
The more you know.
I told that to my dad earlier, and I honest to God thought he was going to drop the phone. He laughed so hard. But even that, you look at the fact the guy's dating a girl that's almost 50 years younger than him. I don't think relating to players is an issue. The issue that I could have is guys not living up to his standard. Because that's who ran afoul of him. If you look at the guys that have come out against him, it was guys that were not as good as they were supposed to be. They were almost all bust. Everybody I've ever heard say anything about him. You look at the Hall of Famers, they all loved him. Richard Seymour loved him. Tom Brady loved him. Julian Edelman loved him. Rob Gronkowski loved him.
In his own way.
They all loved him. I mean, literally just look at the comments. They speak in reverence of him. Him and Tom had issues. But it wasn't that they didn't think he was a great coach or getting the most out of him.
No. It's all personal stuff. Like, you have those people in your life, right, that they're so much fun to be around until you work with them. And then, he's not one of those. I've worked with those before. He is not one of those. I can still find enjoyment out of this job. Some people, they could be the greatest people away from the job, but once you get into it and it's tough. But generally, those have been the best bosses I've ever had. We were the most productive when we had those types of relationships, right? Where you had somebody who was a stickler, somebody who was, had their way. Dare I say they had the Patriot way, and it worked. And you follow my plan, it's going to work. You deviate from my plan while we're at work, it's going to be hell.
I'm going to ask a question that I haven't heard anybody ask yet.
Have
you looked at their schedule?
Carolina? It's been a while since I looked at it, but it's not going to be.
I've got it in some form.
It's not super challenging from what I remember.
Their non-conference games are at UCF, at Charlotte, which, by the way, if you want to know where exactly the Carolina program is, they booked road dates home and home with Charlotte and Central Florida. Richmond, TCU, then they play in the conference. Road games are Cal, NC State, Syracuse, Wake Forest. Home games are Virginia, Stanford, Duke, Clemson.
Ooh.
They'll win 9 games on that schedule just because they showed up and put their pants on the right way. That is one of the top 5 worst schedules I've ever seen. Even Clemson, the one team on that schedule that I actually know is good, you get them in Keenan.
Yep.
TCU, probably the second toughest game on that schedule. It's the first game of the season. It's Bill's first game in Kenny. It'll be the loudest that stadium's ever been.
Yep. Which kind of, I was thinking back last night about some of the stuff that we talked about on the show, and it dawned on me when we had a little disagreement because you said, if this team goes 6-6, what's the problem? Where's the disappointment? With a schedule like that? That's where I took exception with that yesterday. 6-6 with a record with a schedule like that, we'll be the joke of college football. Oh, Bill Belichick really worked out for you, didn't he? You should be able to win 9 games with that schedule. I don't think he's going to have a hard time doing it.
I don't either.
I honestly don't.
I mean, you've already got guys in the transfer portal that are saying they're making visits to North Carolina. Whether he can get them or not, I don't know.
Precisely.
And you've got big, high-level recruits out of the transfer portal that are looking at Carolina. They would not have looked at them 2 weeks ago.
No, because who wouldn't want to be a part of this? Right? I feel like this is the biggest story in college football right now.
For sure. I would say the second one is the one I told to start the show. It's 2 very well-known coaches. One that's making his first soiree into college. The other is coming back to where he had his most success. It's Bill Belichick and Rich Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? They're both going to be successful. You know why? Because look around the landscape of college football. How many coaches do you actually believe in?
Sorry, Patrick Holt said that we still won't beat NC State.
They may not. I doubt it. But
right.
NC State.
Pretty sure Dave Doran's not getting the best out of him.
Yeah, you got your own set of problems. You had one good coach on that staff, and he just went to Marshall. Throwing that out there. I do think having a schematic advantage, they will, is going to play at Carolina. And then you just start thinking about the coaches that are around the ACC. Look at the guys he has to beat. Dave Clawson and Fran Brown. And I'm not saying these guys aren't good coaches. I'm just saying you're comparing them to the greatest NFL coach that ever lived.
No.
And now college football's never been closer to the NFL than it is right now.
There is one ginormous positive to Bill Belichick coming. I mean, there are many. But to me, there's one positive that sticks out over all of them. And what I think is going to transform this program above anything else that he brings to the table. And I'll tell you what that is. Coming up next here on ESPN Asheville.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-431-8958. That's 800-431-8958.
Imagine a world where animals and humans coexist in harmony, where wild animals thrive, habitats are protected, and marginalized communities are empowered. At International Animal Rescue, this is our vision. Our holistic, community-led projects not only rescue animals, but also protect and replenish precious habitats, creating a better future for us all. But we can't do this without you. Show your support now and help keep the wild, wild. Visit internationalanimalrescue.org.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wine, spirits, beers, all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and More. Bottles so delightful, whoa. Priced so amazingly low.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup Revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the tailgate.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, your home for Tar Heel football and basketball. It's going to be the first thing that I asked my wife for. I finally figured out exactly what I wanted for Christmas. Short sleeve hoodie. I need a short sleeve Tar Heel hoodie.
Andy, I'm going to disagree.
Yeah.
You need to replace his entire closet. We need Tank to stop dressing like a failed cast member of The Big Bang Theory, if at all possible.
Nope, not going to happen.
He
I love my
says
t-shirts.
as he wears an AC/DC T-shirt.
Going on tour next year.
With a cannon
I'm going to be there. Yeah. I don't understand your derision of AC/DC.
Well,
I really don't.
It's the same reason that I'm derisive of marshmallows and
what?
Things that suck. Vacuum cleaners.
Even at 80 years old, still would put on a better halftime show than Kendrick Lamar.
And that is why we don't take your opinion on musical things.
The one thing,
have to wheel them out there in an iron lung.
The one thing that Bill Belichick is bringing to North Carolina, I think that will make a bigger difference than anything, is the organization. It's the organization of football. And that goes from everything from inside the locker room down to out on the field. This will be one of the most disciplined programs in college football, which Carolina has never been, ever. And he knows how to win. He knows how to win games.
Well,
consistently.
Mack Brown knew how to win games. I disagree with you on this.
Years ago. He did years ago. I look at the collapses of the last few years in Carolina and go, that's not knowing how to win consistently in college football anymore.
Yeah, sorry. A guy that has 13 10-win seasons in college football, I don't think it fell out of your head how to win. What happened to Mack Brown, and you can actually see it as time went on at Carolina, the buy-in stopped. The boosters were super, and do you remember that class he had when he first came back to Carolina, the Miles Murphy class?
Yep.
Where they had virtually every recruit in the state of North Carolina was going to Carolina.
Yeah, it was like 22 out of the top 26 recruits in the state.
It was insane.
Yeah.
He had basically put that Jimmy Johnson fence around North Carolina because he had the support of the administration. They were supporting him financially. I disagree with you on this. I think Mack Brown knew how to win. The problem with Mack Brown was very, very simple. He didn't know how to hire.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Longo, give me a break. Chip Lindsey, give me a break. All right. The fact he got the Michigan job, somebody asked my opinion on that. I don't believe they watched him last year. That would be my opinion on that. Because he was a hot prospect. He should not have been after what he did at Carolina last year.
Well, I mean, look how well he used the running game last year. Marion Hampton was the only thing I think that they looked at and went, I'd like to have that guy do that for our backs.
Scooby-Doo could have figured out how to use Marion Hampton.
I'm not saying
that guy that's bar none the best player on the team, give him the ball 1 billion times.
That's right.
Where do we want him to go? Forward. That's all. Doesn't matter.
It's like giving Kellen Moore a lot of credit for Saquon Barkley.
It's in the same ballpark.
Right.
Hey, the most physically gifted running back in the NFL, you figured out how to use him? Let's give you $1 billion. You're a genius.
We've never been in a situation like this where football mattered. And now it does.
That's what I thought he brought.
And it was
and everybody thought Mack did that. Mack Brown was great for the Carolina purist because you were fixing an ill of the late 90s because there were so many Carolina fans that were so butthurt at him because he left for Texas, which, by the way, is the dumbest thing. I hope you all figured that out over the last 6 years. Of course he left for Texas.
Mm-hmm.
He had resources that you could not possibly duplicate.
Well, we all knew.
And
we still hated it.
Not all of you knew. There were a lot of you that went, no, Carolina's still a no, they're not.
No.
And they haven't been close to that ever.
Mm-hmm.
Bill brings eyeballs that Mack Brown never was going to. Ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not a national brand like that. He was a big college football brand that made you a cute story. There was nothing else to that. He would be like Rich Rodriguez if Rich Rodriguez didn't have the ties to that program that he has, the ties to that state that he has. And that's where I think you got duped on Mack. He hadn't been that good of a coach for the 5 years before he left Texas.
Right.
Bill Belichick was winning Super Bowls in the last 5 years before he left New England. Yeah, when it went downhill, it went downhill. Of course it did. That's how the NFL works. But you've still got kids that grew up watching Tom Brady. You still got quarterbacks that look at Bill Belichick and go, that's the guy that was the head coach that made Tom Brady, gave him his opportunity, put him in the right position to succeed, and made him an NFL quarterback.
Yep.
Made him the greatest NFL quarterback that ever lived. Whether that is true or not, that is the perception. So you've got guys that I think would be a slew of ESPN 300 guys. Maybe not the top 100. You don't need those top 100 guys to win the ACC. The ACC is terrible. But that 101 to 300, okay, I can go play for Scott Frost at UCF or I can go play for Bill Belichick. Which one do you think's going to win?
Right. I can go play for Bill Belichick and make more money, right, because they got money now. Have we confirmed the $20 million figure? Did that ever get confirmed in all of this? That was for sure the number that he was requesting. It's the only number I've heard. So I was just wondering if there had been a definitive breakdown of, hey, this is what was in the Bible.
Well,
because apparently that was true too. That he laid down a 400-page document that went, this is the structural organization that me and Nick Saban just thought up this weekend. Here you go. Here it is. You need to meet all of these, and then I'll come take your job.
Well, and I mean, one of the things that you got to look, and I don't mean to dampen the parade for Carolina fans, but the way it was said to me is that the rev share from the ACC is going straight into the football program.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where that means it's not going?
Basketball
program.
Basketball's struggling anyway. Have been.
No. I hate to point out the obvious, but you went from Royer Williams to Hubert Davis.
Right. I mean, it was obviously going to take a dip, but I mean, I felt like we've been falling behind in that realm anyway, even when Roy was still there, because we weren't getting the top recruits. Roy was good enough to get the ones that he could identify, the ones that he wanted to keep around for a long time. I don't see Hubert doing that, and that's the problem that we have right now. Well, that we're not getting the stars, and this is a star-driven game now.
If the Bill Belichick thing works, the basketball team will figure itself out.
Sure it will.
Because there will be more money than you have ever seen in that program.
Absolutely.
A good to great football program will make more than the most elite basketball program ever thought of making.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a banner day for North Carolina.
Of course it is.
And I cannot wait to watch this. And we have not solidified the schedule for next year. I'm going to go out on a limb and say August 30th, there's a great chance we're in Keenan Memorial Stadium for Bill Belichick's first game against TCU.
Ooh, that would be fun. Horn frogs.
It's already been discussed.
I like it.
That discussion was ongoing at 10 o'clock last night.
Good deal.
I'm getting out in front of this.
Yeah.
Fast.
Steve Belichick, apparently he's going to be the long-term solution. I heard Ryan McGee talking about this earlier today on Carlin and Canty, I think it was, or whatever that morning show is now. He was on there, and he was saying that no one in the organization, right, nobody at Carolina currently wanted anything to do with this head coach in waiting tag. But it is Bill, and we'll make a place for Steve, but we're not calling him that because every time we've tried to do that, it's not gone well. So we're not going to do that.
When has Carolina ever done that before?
They have done that long in the past, and I guess I don't know if that was a reference to Bill Guthridge or what, but I mean that was.
Bill Guthridge worked out okay.
For a year. For a year.
It worked out pretty well until it didn't.
Well,
and then he retired, and then you got the fun guy that replaces the guy.
Right, but Bill was the guy that replaced the guy, right? He carried Dean's classes until Dean didn't have any more classes left, and that was when the end came of, okay, Bill, we need to find another solution, and then that led us down the Matt Doherty path.
Well, that's where it really, Matt Doherty, the guy that was in the locker room,
right? But
slamming
but
things
I
against
think
the wall
that has a
and
lot to
screaming
do
at
with it
cheerleaders.
too. I think that has a lot to do with the Steve Belichick thing too. Well, that's just another keep it in the family thing. I mean, I can understand how you get down that path of, well, we're the keep it in the family guys, and that hasn't worked for us now. So is this one going to? It's a different situation.
The only way you would get me to sign off on that is if you think this Bill thing is going to work so well that you're going to be a premier job a handful of years from now when he walks away.
And that's the hope.
If that's your claim, okay. I'm just glad you didn't let that be the sticking point on this. Because if I've learned anything about Belichick's, who are coaches in waiting, I would trust them about as far as I could throw them.
The hope is that this organizational Bible is going to be the framework for the Carolina football program forever now. That is the hope. That we come in, we do the Belichick way or whatever the hell they want to call it, Carolina way part 2 or whatever. That we do this, the organization is steady. We just gave Bill a 5-year contract. Bill may not make it that long. He hands it over to Steve. Steve does this job, and by that time, we're in the SEC. By that time, we're in the Big Ten. Wherever this wind blows, it is not a secret that if they're expanding, Carolina's on their short list.
Well, and there was Carolina wasn't on their short list. They weren't, because in terms of a football power, you're way closer to Rutgers than you are to Ohio State. I think that's what this was all about.
Yes.
Is that they were looking at SMU going, that's a team that bet on themselves, and now they have found themselves in the college football playoff, and they are going to print money off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to bring in recruits, hit the Dallas market. The donors are more free spending, and Carolina decided to bet on themselves.
Yep.
And this was the best way to do it.
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Let's look at Thursday afternoon. However, as mentioned, the cooler air continues to spill on in. We'll stick with it here today. A little breeze gusting out of the northwest, adding just a little chill to our 45-degree high temperature. Tonight, some clouds, 25. Friday, partial sun, high 50. The weekend starts partly sunny, upper 40s. Showers coming in Saturday night, probably lasting through mid-morning Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by PayPal.
This season, the PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get exclusive cashback offers in the app. And with the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay. PayPal.
Experiences make life more meaningful. And with MasterCard's Priceless.com, you can immerse yourself in unforgettable experiences in dining, sports, art, entertainment, and more in over 40 destinations. From a round of golf with a legendary player to a cooking class with a celebrity chef, you can fuel your passions and create lasting memories. Explore experiences today at Priceless.com, exclusively for MasterCard cardholders. Terms and conditions apply.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
iHeartRadio is your #1 app for the holidays. Just open the app and search Holiday and start listening now. You'll see your local holiday radio station, plus all kinds of other holiday stations, playlists, and podcasts. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
Christmas.
Hurry, they're gonna be up soon.
When families and communities come together in the spirit of peace on earth and goodwill towards men.
Operation Silent Night and Still on the Fence. Okay, we're ready.
At Ingalls, we know that Christmas isn't just a holiday. It's a feeling to embrace all year long. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The election has well passed, but
thank God
we don't have every answer across the country,
which is insanity.
We still have some things that are being worked out. We just had, like, 2 days ago, I think Monday maybe, Tuesday maybe, of this week was the official recount here in North Carolina was taken. All 5.5 million ballots or whatever were recounted, and everything was finalized. Well,
unsettling that we need to recount it to know when American Idol figured this out in a night.
Well, you just gotta make sure that you got everything correct.
It's the middle of December.
It's the canvassing process, as they call it. But sometimes even after the canvass, it still comes out too close to call, or in some cases, it ends up being a complete tie at the ballot box, which is what Midvale City in Utah had to deal with, and they have now decided who their next mayor is going to be. And would you like to know how they decided it? With a coin flip. Apparently, after the tiebreaker, and that's how you settle things in Midvale, Ohio, or Midvale, Utah. We have some towns in North Carolina that draw straws still.
Which is insanity.
When you have a tie. Rather than going through the process of, another election or a runoff election or anything like that, I still feel like we need to settle things like this with drinking competitions.
And
I mean, we need to put, candidate A and candidate B up on the dais, and we just keep feeding them beers until one of them passes out, and the one who doesn't, that's your new mayor.
If it's two dudes, bare knuckle street fight. Let's go. I would be a really tough combatant for Asheville mayor if that was how we decided it.
I mean, I guess feats of strength would be a little sexist if you had a man.
Festivus for the rest of us.
You had a man and a woman running for the same office. I don't guess we could do.
No,
we couldn't do that.
No,
we'd have to come up with something else. Rock, paper, scissors. How about that?
Rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. It's way more fair.
Yes, no doubt about it.
I don't know all the iterations of that, so don't ask. My story is about Scrabble. Tank, did you ever play Scrabble?
Yeah, I love Scrabble.
When you were a younger man? Are you good at it?
I am pretty good at it.
I am shockingly good at it. My father and I used to have aggressive games of Scrabble when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a guy, his name's Nigel Richards. He's from New Zealand, and he is a 5-time English Scrabble world champion.
Wow, good for him.
Well, apparently he got bored. He was so good at Scrabble that he decided, you know what? I'm going to compete in Spanish. He doesn't speak Spanish, but he has an eidetic memory.
Oh.
He memorized every Spanish word that was playable in Spanish Scrabble and just won the Spanish World Championship.
Let's go.
That's a dude you just don't want to mess with. I'm so good at this game, I beat you in a language of which I do not speak.
Eidetic memory. That's awesome.
That reminded me of the Bert Kreischer joke about taking Russian. He was like, I was taking tests in a language with where I was not familiar with the alphabet. Right. Do you know what it's like to take a test and answering in hieroglyphics?
That's pretty impressive. I wonder if there's audio of that, though. Like, you said he was from New Zealand. Yes. See, because in my head, I've got, like, some redneck in there playing, Poder. That's a word. Poder.
Yeah, that's not really how World Championship Scrabble goes.
Oh, Bano.
I played with a guy maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago. It was
Scrabble?
Yeah.
You
couldn't play a word if you didn't use all of your tiles.
Oh, that's difficult.
Evil. That's evil, difficult. And it's very difficult, and you become very good at 7, 8, and 9-letter words.
I was going to say, what? You have to skip a turn?
Yep.
If you can't play one?
Yep. And you have to turn back in tiles trying to make 7-letter words.
Okay. All right. See, I was trying to think, like, okay, well, I run, because so many times I'll have, the 7 tiles out in front of me, and I got 6 consonants and a Z. Good luck.
Let's go.
I can make Z-I-ooey. There we go.
That would be vowels there, Gomer. You said 6 consonants.
Oh, I meant vowels.
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
I know you did.
That's what I meant.
I-ooey would be vowels.
No doubt. That's the one I meant.
If you had 6 consonants, it would be Zarovka.
We're playing Russian Scrabble today.
Strasvutia! I win!
I'm back! That's evil. That's evil kind of Scrabble rules.
It mitigates the value of the Q and the Z because, yes, they're worth a lot of points, but there's not a lot of 7-letter words that use either one.
No, I could imagine not. You'd have to get – you'd have to spend a lot of studying time on that one.
Well, as you pointed out, my childhood was basically as though I was raised in Guantanamo Bay.
Sure.
So
sure.
That was how I was raised, is learn 7-letter words.
No doubt.
No obscenities or proper nouns.
No doubt. Right before Flostradamus had to go place the bets for Grandpappy, he was having him spell out 7-letter Q words on the chalkboard.
That's cute. You think I was placing them for Grandpappy. It's more like Grandpappy was placing them for me. They wouldn't let me in the book.
Uh-huh. The great sports book of Marshall, North Carolina.
Hey, don't speak ill of that which you do not understand.
I'm sure it was run by one of the ponders. It's fine.
They had a security guard. It was a monkey with an eye patch and a knife. Giggles that mess you up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't pay. He's coming. He's got his symbols, and he's going to mush your face.
It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Rich Rodriguez going to West Virginia. Bill Belichick going to North Carolina. I guess those are the biggest stories of the day as far as coaching hires are concerned. Have you had any of these others? These other hirings? Have any of them you looked at and went, "That's a great hire"?
Charles Huff, yeah. Southern Miss was the only landing spot for him. He won their conference. The administration at Marshall hated him so badly that they refused to extend his contract. So he came into the year as a lame duck coach. He won the conference, and then he went, and he just had to take probably the worst job in college football.
Southern Miss?
But he's taken like 20 players with him. So
I was going to say, is that the worst job in college football?
Probably, yeah. It's an awful job.
Yeah.
Awful.
Worse than UMass.
Oh, UMass is pretty bad, too.
That's pretty down there.
It's pretty bad.
There are a lot of pretty bad colleges that are looking for coaches right now.
I always laugh at this time of year when there's certain colleges I just look at and go, how many people attend your press conference?
Mm-hmm.
You announce that Billy Bob Butterface over here is going to be your new head coach. How many people attend that press conference?
Who showed up for the? Well, that might be a bad example because that is in a big city. You'd probably have more than you would think at the Kennesaw State press conference, just because they're in Atlanta.
Well, I mean, they hired the running backs coach for the Jaguars.
That they did, and that was kind of why I used that as the litmus test here. Jerry Mack, the running backs coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars, that's the new coach at Kennesaw State, the program that is trying to make the transition into FBS football from years in the FCS ranks. And, I mean, I guess they did. Who was it they beat earlier this year? Didn't they beat somebody?
Liberty.
Yeah, they beat Liberty. So, I mean, you did get that one good win. But you have 4,000 kids that go to that school.
I mean, the one that I look at and I'm the most impressed by is Fresno State hiring Matt Entz.
Mm-hmm.
You know who that is, right?
Matt Entz?
Yeah. He was the one that left North Dakota State. He was the head coach at North Dakota State.
Okay.
He left last offseason to become the linebackers coach at USC.
Yes.
And in 1 year, he turned that into the Fresno State job.
Yes.
That was rather brilliant. It looked really stupid at the time. It makes a lot of sense now. I'm intrigued by Dan Mullen in Las Vegas, too.
Well, who wouldn't be?
The Tank Spenceriest of all college football coaches.
Okay. What was that? What do you mean?
Well, if we took Tank and Dan Mullen to Las Vegas, which one do you think would get tired and need to go back to the room first? Because I don't really see either one of you as the party guy. Dan would be the choice.
Okay.
I mean, he would go back before you would.
Yes.
You would also end up on your face after looking at Mike McDaniel going, doing a great job, Coach. You're doing a great job.
Mad respect, Coach. Mad respect.
What are you going to say to him this year when you see him? You're not doing as great of a job as you were last year, Coach.
No.
You need to be gooder at your job.
Say, hey, look, Mike, when all of this is over, you can always come and be the third on the Sportsocracy.
You'll be the shortest one in the. That's why you want him here, because he's one of the only guys to be shorter than you.
That's right. I did have to look down on him when I passed him at the bar. It was there's a kid in here. Look at that.
Hey, you could give him one of your phone books. Now you're sitting on 3, then you can sit on 2, and he can sit on 1.
Yeah, there you go. See, we're all about sharing.
We'll get him and Dole Loggins in here.
Dole Loggins, the new head coach of
Appalachian State.
Mm-hmm.
He's 5'6". I forgot. I've met him a couple times. I forgot that until somebody said something on Twitter, and I started thinking about it. I was like, why did they say that? It got stuck in my head for 2 days, and I went, oh, yeah, because he's like that tall.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Offensive coordinator from the South Carolina Gamecocks going to Appalachian State to take over that job. You had Barry Odom accepting the Purdue job, leaving UNLV.
Which I don't really understand.
Why would you not want to be in the Big Ten?
Why in the world would I want to be at Purdue?
Because it's not UNLV?
Well, you're in the Kankle territory of Indiana at a school that spends about $8 a year. What if that sounds fun? Oh, I'm going to one of the toughest conferences in America. I have $20 million less to build a roster than any other team in this conference. And, well, the scenery here is a shut-down factory a mile and a half outside of campus. Woof.
But
I'm good.
But if I can win here, I can get a job at any other big program.
They'll be comparing you to Joe Tiller for the next 4 years. I'm good. Havoc has a really good point. YouTube. He went to Kennesaw State.
Okay.
And he's there. Said there's one guy to every 8 ladies, and boy was it fun. That sounds fun.
That does sound fun.
That sounds fun.
Hmm.
At West Virginia, you really didn't know who you were talking to at a bar. They were bundled up in big coats, so you were really just playing craps.
They should advertise that more.
For sure.
I feel like that would help the football program if they advertise that more.
For sure.
Like, hey, you realize what the ratio is here, guys. And if you're on the football team,
coffee's for closers, and you don't even have to be good at it. You can ask them to come back to your mom's basement to watch Pokemon, and okay.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville Daily Draft, brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. Coming up after the break.
Hello?
Hello!
Oh, Uncle Nick, I wasn't expecting you for another few days. Phew, good thing my order from Ashley was already delivered. I don't know what I would have done had he arrived before the extra spacious sectional and cozy memory foam mattress. He'd take one look inside and be on his not-so-merry way. Come on in, Uncle Nick.
Ashley is here to make sure you have the furniture and latest seasonal home decor to prepare you for any moment. Visit your local Ashley or shop online at ashley.com for deals that slay.
At Harbor Freight, our low prices make us the place for gifts that keep on giving. Because when you give the gift of quality tools, you're giving someone the ability to fix, restore, and build for years to come. And with savings like these, you can even get something for yourself. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight. Stop by and give yourself the gift of great prices.
Life is short, and if we spend our time suffering with pain and it takes away our joy, that's not a very good way to live.
He's right. It's hard to be happy when you're in constant pain. QC Kinetics patient Chad admits the chronic pain in his knee really robbed his quality of life.
When I was going to the traditional doctor and getting the pain pills, my smile wasn't as big as it usually is. Going to my high school reunion on crutches, it was awful.
But then Chad visited QC Kinetics. He experienced the real power behind natural regenerative treatments. Using healing properties from his own body, QC Kinetics was able to restore and repair damaged tissue, finally giving Chad lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
And I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
Learn how advanced regenerative medicine can help your body heal itself at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Using a Clorox disinfecting wipe to clean that stuck-on sauce from the stove feels like...
Oh, boy. It tickles. Stop.
It feels like coming home to your needy corgi after a long day.
Best part of the day, finally.
With Clorox. Clean feels carefree. Clean feels good. Use as directed.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the hardest hit areas in those first hours. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Nice look at Thursday afternoon. However, as mentioned, the cooler air continues to spill on in. We'll stick with it here today. A little breeze gusting out of the northwest, adding just a little chill to our 45-degree high temperature. Tonight, some clouds, 25. Friday, partial sun, high 50. The weekend starts partly sunny, upper 40s. Showers coming in Saturday night, probably lasting through mid-morning Sunday. For the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stachik.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Pro Paint Days are back at Lowe's. Get your choice of 5-gallon pails of Valspar Signature Ceiling Paint or HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Flat Ceiling Paint for just $148. Lowe's knows paint. Lowe's knows pros. Valid through 12/20.
The PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get cashback offers in the app, and when you use the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app, live or on demand, and you can also see us on the YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat. This is the Threadbare Thursday, so you got something you want talked about that we haven't talked about, you throw it out in the YouTube chat. It is the third hour of the program, which means it is time for the Daily Draft, brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. And yesterday we focused on the biggest disappointments of the football season. Now it's time to talk the flip side of that. These are the best surprises. Who overachieved this year in football?
You took the first pick yesterday, so I'll take it today.
Okay.
My #1 is Sammy D, MVP. I don't think even I could have thought this would go as well as it has.
No.
And that Minnesota would have one of the best records in the NFL. And Sam Darnold would be playing like an absolute franchise quarterback. He's made himself a bajillion dollars.
Yes, he has.
We opened the show talking about his contract and that the Vikings have not engaged him on long-term talks, which to me is absolutely insane. But he's going to be somebody's starter next year.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not Minnesota, it will be somebody else.
It will be Minnesota. I have a great feeling.
I tend to agree.
Minnesota's not one to look at a good thing and go, you know what, we're done with that. We're okay. The same team that, I was leery about ending it with Kirk Cousins, only because I didn't think you had a better option.
You did.
Lo and behold, you did. Lo and behold, you went and found an option that was better, and now much better than Kirk Cousins.
That's not saying much on the latter part of that. Now.
Right.
But he is certainly a better option.
Yes. All right, Sammy D. He's a massive overachiever. in this football season.
But we did spend the first half of the first hour
We did.
of the show talking about Sam, so we don't need to rehash
Yeah, we don't need to go over that too much.
And that was really a repayment for you doing me a solid yesterday and not taking the Jets or Florida State, the two biggest losers of the year, not close.
Sammy D was my one. My two is the Washington Commanders.
That's a good one.
And the Commanders were higher on that list a few weeks ago for me. It was closer, I'll put it that way, as to who's the biggest overachiever of the year in the NFL anyway. I never would have expected that it was going to go this well. Jaden Daniels was going to come in and be this good. Now, having lost 3 out of the last 4 games, that's not good. But we get a point where everybody hits a wall like this.
Well, and you do have to worry about the rookie wall with Jaden Daniels.
Mm-hmm, that's what I'm saying. C.J. Stroud, he didn't have that, but he's hit the wall now. That's all we've been talking about for the last 6 weeks with the Houston Texans is what's going on with C.J. Stroud. Why is he reverting back to bad habits? Why is he just not picking it up? Why are the defenses playing him tougher? Now, I'm hoping that this continues with Jaden Daniels, but the fact that this team is 8-5, I didn't think you were going to win 8 games all year.
You should give yourself more credit than that. You didn't call me crazy when I said Washington could be better than you think. I didn't think this.
I didn't call you crazy, no, because, I mean, hell, it was 4 weeks into the season where we all just kind of had to realize, oh, crap. I think the Commanders are the best team in this division. Now, obviously, things have not gone that way, and Philadelphia has just taken off with their talent. But the fact that they were even in the discussion at some point, this year, you're way ahead of schedule. I hated the Dan Quinn thing. I didn't think that was going to work at all.
I'm not 100% sure they thought that was going to work.
Right.
He was no better than their 4th priority.
But but see, there's pride now. It didn't take long for what's his name? The owner, Josh. What's his name? Harris.
Josh Harris.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
Sorry, I chose a bad time to stop.
Yes, sorry.
I was like, Josh, what is he
Who
looking
is that
for?
guy's name? It didn't take long for Josh Harris to come in, take this program or take over this franchise, and there's hope once again. Immediately. You had hope when they sold the team. No more Dan Snyder. Obviously, it can't be that bad. But now you've got like legitimate, we've got a quarterback. Maybe we have a coach. We had some pieces on that defense. Now we're talking. I think they're one of the biggest overachievers of the season.
That is a very good one. You have your franchise quarterback. It's been a very good year for the Washington Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
And
then I'm going to college football. And it may not be one that was even on your list, but I think to me, it's one of the biggest surprises because I never heard anybody talk about this team, and now they're in the playoff. It's the Arizona State Sun Devils. I know they don't have a chance to win a college football playoff championship. Do you know where they were projected to finish?
Dead last.
Dead last! 16th out of 16 teams in the Big 12. And somehow your boy, Kenny Dillingham, coached this team up to not only being near the top of the league, but at the top of the league, taking home the trophy and making the college football playoff. I don't see how there could be a bigger winner or overachiever in college football from the team that was picked to finish 16th in their conference and is the number 4 seed in the college football playoff.
Well, I mean, and you do have to look at Arizona State, what they came back from with how bad the Herm Edwards thing went.
Mm-hmm.
There were likely sanctions coming at them. Kenny Dillingham takes this job. Thankfully, everything in college football changed. And, I mean, I always liked Kenny. He was at Florida State for, I think, a year. It's either a year or 2. I don't know which one.
Mm-hmm.
I never doubted that he was a good, smart football coach. I did not think he could do this. And Cam Scatabo. I mean, look, the thing that nobody talks about with that is that you do understand he was a transfer this year.
Yes.
Kenny Dillingham stole him from his college coach. Sacramento State's coach, which is where Scadabo came from, he went to Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
He stole him from a coach he had played for 3 years. That's strong recruiting out of a guy that you obviously very much believed in. And he's been the little engine that could, the straw that stirs the drink for Arizona State.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie to you. I thought you were getting ready to screw me because it sounded very much like you were taking my number 2 team overall.
Okay.
It's the Indiana Hoosiers.
There you go. That's a great one.
Because they're also in the playoff. Would you like to hear the list of 10-win seasons in the history of Indiana football?
I would love to hear it again.
Because this is it. They won 11 games. They'd never done that before.
Right.
Since 2000, I backtracked this while you were. Since 1993, Indiana has only had 6 instances where if you combine 2 consecutive years, they won 11 games. You win 11-1, made the playoffs as an at-large. That, to me, is more impressive than winning the Big 12. Arizona State would have been high for me. They're not as high as Indiana.
Yeah.
And Indiana is getting – I think there's some staying power as long as Kurt Cignetti stays in that building. Look, there were high-level recruits that were still one of the best – Julian Lewis, one of the best quarterbacks in the country, that wound up committing to Colorado. He had Indiana on his list until the very end because there are a lot of good things that are happening in that program.
Mm-hmm.
And they have always been kind of there. They were Rutgers Midwest. Not anymore. Now, they're not going to be fun to deal with.
Yep.
Especially if Kurt Cignetti can keep bringing in players like what he brought from James Madison.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many guys he brought from that JMU team?
You told me it was a bunch.
I thought it was like there were 26 guys that went into the portal from JMU.
Mm-hmm.
He only brought 7 of them to Indiana, but they all contribute.
Yeah. Okay. So after Indiana, then who?
I'm trying to decide if I want to do this with my heart or with my head. I'm going to go heart. I'm going South Carolina Gamecocks.
Dang it! Dang it!
South Carolina Gamecocks.
I almost considered taking them the last time just to keep you from doing that. But, you know me, tank's going to tank.
You should draft better.
Yeah, the South Carolina Gamecocks were that's the one that I really wanted on my team because that team has been incredible. And it is going to go down as one of the highlights of my life. Going to Columbia for that LSU game.
Oh, it's a fantastic
That atmosphere
stadium.
was so wonderful. And this team's just so electric. Like
They're a lot of
everything,
fun.
like everything about them is awesome. Or there's a level of awesome to it. That Kyle Kennard kid, we were talking about him yesterday. I don't even think that we mentioned this on the show, but that kid won the Bronco Nagurski Award. I didn't even realize that he led the SEC in sacks this year with 11 and a half of them. But there were times at the end of games that kid just took it over and went, oh, wait, you got to try to make the score to beat us? Here I come. And he was in the backfield. I would love to know if there was like an Elias Sports Bureau stat out there about the most quarterback hurries in the final 2 minutes of football games this year, because I bet that dude leads that category by a mile in college football. He seemed like the ultimate defensive closer for the South Carolina Gamecocks. And then you add on the fact that not only do they have Bamer, I mean, that's a guy that I'm waiting for somebody to try to throw a bag at and get him away from South Carolina.
I don't think there is a bag to throw at him.
There may not be.
There wasn't at his dad.
Right.
Teams chased his dad for years.
Right.
Once he got entrenched in Blacksburg, he wasn't going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel the same way about Shane.
Yeah. I just from the quarterback to Rocket Sanders at running back, this team was awesome. And I hate the fact that you took that away from me.
Well, and you also have to realize how many of these guys are sophomores and juniors, and they're coming back.
Uh-huh.
Outside of Kyle Kennard and Eamon Worry, the safety, they don't lose a ton.
No, and the start of this season, or the preseason for South Carolina was the same it's been every year of, this team's not going to be great, right? The media polling preseason, South Carolina was picked 12th in the SEC. There was one media member that gave them a vote to win the SEC. That guy feels real smart right now. Now, every other year he feels like an idiot because it's the same guy from the state newspaper that does it each and every year. There's no doubt in my mind about it. I don't know that for a fact.
My name's Nick Saban. I'm from the Daily Gamecock. I would like to discuss South Carolina football with you, please.
Here's my vote for the champion of the SEC this year.
13-0 this year, just as they have been all the other years that I have been here.
Right. South Carolina. I hate that you took that away from me.
I always know I did it right when I can make you do that.
Mm-hmm.
That means I feel pretty solid. That can't tell you I've already won, but I feel pretty good.
Oh, you're pretty close on this one. There's no doubt about it. All right. Next up, overachievers. I'm going back to the NFL.
I figured you would.
I'm going back to the NFL, and I am going to take the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, I had high hopes for
much higher than I did
for Jim Harbaugh coming in. But that's kind of it. Like, they're kind of meeting my expectation for them this year, which I know surpasses everyone else's hopes for them. Because I had high hopes that he was going to come in and turn this around quickly, but I think he did it quicker than I thought.
There were higher hopes for the Chargers. I think I swayed you in that one. They weren't even on my list.
Really?
No. This is a different one than normal because I've got a couple at the bottom that I knew you weren't going to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I only have 8. You got 2 of them with the Commanders in Arizona State. So
right.
Might get a little dicey towards the bottom. The Chargers basically have been what a lot of people thought they would be. They're just better than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think they had the horses because I didn't believe you could count on Quentin Johnston. I didn't think you could count on Ladd McConkey. I thought he was a good 2.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have a 1, and you're going to end at shootouts, and you're going to lose shootouts. Hadn't happened that way.
Yep.
They played really good defense. With J.K. Dobbins, they were able to run the ball. But now you get to this point. What do you do now?
Now what?
You can't run to save your life at this point.
Mm-hmm. Now what we do here in the Sportsocracy is we take a quick break. The daily draft, who are the biggest overachievers in 2024-2025 football season. We'll be right back with the daily draft, always brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale.
The most common form of treatment for the arthritic joints is normally cortisone injections and gel shots and over-the-counter medications. And most patients have tried all of that and are still in pain.
Every day, Dr. Aaron Wolkoff, a QC Kinetics medical director, meets patients who have exhausted every method to get relief. They've been told surgery is their only option.
They want to stay away from that path, and they come to us almost as the last hope. So we're using our own body's properties to help manage pain, to help slow arthritis down, keep the patients active with no downtime, and getting back to what they enjoy doing. I mean, I love what I do.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments from our board-certified providers help heal and restore aching joints. No surgery, harmful drugs, or downtime. Call for your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Hope is found in God's promises. Let's share the message of hope through our gifts to others. ABCCM's 7 ministries provide food, shelter, medical services, and real hope and healing to people in crisis. Your gift transforms lives at abccm.org.
Had enough of this country? Ever dreamt about starting your own?
I planted the flag. This is mine. I own this.
It's surprisingly easy.
55 gallons of water, 500 pounds of concrete.
Or maybe not.
No country willingly gives up their territory.
Oh my God.
What is that?
Bullets.
Listen to Escape from Zakistan on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Escape from ZAQ-istan to start listening.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Daniel, a veteran who accompanied law enforcement and other veterans to perform search and rescue operations. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
We treat star athletes better because they're better people. That's not fair. Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Daily Draft brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. Biggest overachievers in the football season, college or pro. Jeremy started out today, since I started out yesterday, with the biggest fusterclucks in the football season. I'd be careful on how I said that.
Yes, you did.
Sammy D.
The Jeremy Green Show coming to you live Fridays.
Sammy D, MVP. That was the number one overall choice for everybody. Should be. Nobody would have expected this. Not even you, Jeremy. You said so yourself. You were closer than anybody else.
I was much closer than the rest of you plebes.
You were closer than anybody else, but nobody could have expected that he was going to carry the Minnesota Vikings to the heights that they've been to and continue to get to this season. Then he went Indiana, another great choice, and then the South Carolina Gamecocks, which I'm still mad about that one. Mine were the Washington Commanders at 8-5. In the NFL season, getting ready to make the playoffs with a rookie quarterback. Arizona State, who was picked 16th in the preseason media poll by the Big 12 and ended up winning the whole damn thing, and they've got a bye in the college football playoff. Then I went L.A. Chargers, and now I'm going Pittsburgh Steelers because
that's a good one.
I mean, every year I feel like I'd say the same thing. I don't think this team's very good going in, but somehow, some way, Mike Tomlin's going to find a way to make this work. We all called him a freaking moron when he decided, or when he was pushing, Russell Wilson needs to be the starter of this team. And they were winning games. They were winning games with Justin Fields, 4-2 to start out the season. And we all went, you're an idiot. Why would you want to turn the clock back and go to Russell Wilson, who we saw be absolutely god-awful for the majority of his time in Denver? And now he's the starter. They keep winning games, and guess what? They haven't lost. The 10-2 Pittsburgh Steelers are one of the biggest surprises of me to the season.
Well, I knew I was going to get one NFL team here because I had a feeling you were going to take one of them. You just took the one I wasn't expecting you to.
Mm-hmm.
So I will go with the Denver Broncos. Raise your hand if you thought they were going to be in the driver's seat for a playoff berth. If you raised your hand, look at yourself in the mirror because you are a liar. You didn't believe it unless you are the biggest, drunkest, most delusional fan of your team in the history of time. Because if you look at that roster, it does not belong here.
Yep.
But you have found a way to play within the confines of a system it is impressive what they have been able to do. The AFC has not been as deep as we thought it would be. You've seen teams like the Browns, the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Bengals fall by the wayside, and the Broncos have been there to pick up the pieces. So you're going to end up in the playoffs, and do I think you can do anything once you get there? No. But the fact you got there is light years ahead of where I thought you were. And that's enough to be on my list.
Yep.
And I can't believe you didn't take this one. SMU.
It was coming.
You went to a new conference that's supposed to be really good, and you found a way to win the regular season title and then still get into the playoff even though you lost in the conference championship game.
Mm-hmm.
SMU is not going to be fun to deal with for the foreseeable future. They bet on themselves. They bet on that Dallas oil money. They bet on that Dallas booster money that's been dormant since the mid-'80s, and it paid off. And now I'm going to ask you a question that somebody asked me before the ACC championship game last week. How many programs in the ACC would you take above the football program at SMU right now?
Above them?
Mm-hmm. If you were valuing it for the next 5 to 10 years.
That's hard.
It is hard because Clemson and Florida State are two that I'm looking at going, I don't know that I can say yes there.
Precisely. I mean, I was considering Miami as well, but I mean that they have their struggles year in and year out, and that's not
highly
really the
in this
brand.
year and finished behind them.
Right. And it's not really the brand that it used to be. There's a way that SM and you know, I did consider Carolina as well with the Bill Belichick news now. And maybe that one would be on that list.
You hadn't played a game. I can't go there.
Yeah.
I've seen SMU take no money from a conference and still find a way to get into your conference championship game, and they boat raced a good many of these teams.
They very well could be the class of the ACC while it still exists.
You're in the biggest city in a Power 4 conference, and you have great access to a year-in, year-out berth. Because you got to look at Clemson as being a little bit on the downslide. Even though they won the ACC, they're not a formidable team here. They wouldn't have been here any other way.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State's in the tank. Miami this was supposed to be their year for, I don't know, the 47th time we've said that, and it never seems to pay off. SMU's going to be tough.
Yeah. SMU was on my list. They would have been my next selection. Since you took that, though, I got to go with the fallback. And the fallback comes from the same conference, and it's Syracuse.
That's not
the Fran Brown-led Syracuse Orange. They won all the games so that Coach could take showers routinely. They wanted to make sure. I mean, that's another one. They weren't expected to do much this year. They were expected to finish 12th by the media in the preseason poll in the ACC, and they are a top 20 team in the country. Pulled off the win over Miami that upset the apple cart and allowed Clemson a chance to stay in the college football playoff picture and eventually make the college football playoff. Syracuse has to be on the list, and then after that, I mean, you have to go with Army. At 11-1, winning the AAC, and now being a part of the greatest Army-Navy football game ever.
Okay, you went kooky. Mookie
Did I?
End.
Did I?
Oh yeah. You go back to some of those games in the '60s.
Okay, of
our
lifetimes.
You had
How about
Heisman
that?
Trophy winners playing in the game back then. So.
Well, okay. So, of our lifetimes, then. You can't turn away from Army.
I wrote down two schools because I knew definitively you were taking one of the two,
Mm-hmm.
and I was taking the other one.
Yep.
So I'll go with UNLV. You wound up in the top 25.
Mm-hmm.
That is probably the hardest job in FBS football because you don't have as much money as you would think. You're sharing a stadium with the Raiders where they don't even really care enough to actually paint your logo on the field. They have an inlay that goes in the field. there's just a lot that makes it very difficult to be in that job. There's a reason they haven't been successful really at anything in 30 years. And Barry Odom comes in. You have your quarterback leave 3 games into the season or 4 games into the season, whichever one it was. And you still found a way to make the Mountain West title game. You didn't win it, but you were 1 win away from making the first college football playoff. If I could have made a wager before this season of the team least likely to come anywhere near this thing, if you had taken out the MAC, UNLV would probably have been the first school I would have selected because it is so hard to get prospects there. And you managed to do it. I preferred Army, but shockingly enough, you took Army, and that makes me hate you just a little bit. But I got South Carolina, so nana boo-boo.
Yes.
Stick ahead and do
Yeah,
it.
you did. Sammy D, Indiana, South Carolina, Denver Broncos, SMU, and UNLV are the overachievers of the year for Jeremy. I got the Commanders, Arizona State, the Chargers, the Steelers, Syracuse, and the 11-1 Army Black Knights.
We have a super chat before we go into the break.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Red Sea, the best Army-Navy game will always be the one played in 01.
Ah, yes, the great Battle of 01. It sits on the top of everyone's minds.
I want to say he's talking about the game in... Oh, no. I know why he's saying that. That was after 9/11. I thought he was talking about the game on the field. Yeah, that one was different. That one hit very, very different.
No doubt. Okay, all right.
I had forgotten all about that.
I started to be a turd about that. Now, okay, I apologize.
That's okay. I mean, you've only done like 7 things that would make John right and have gotten you fired. Hi, John. I'm going to make shirts that just say hi, John.
Hi,
just
John.
in case I ever...
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. When we come back, it'll be time for the most important message of the day.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Let's look at Thursday afternoon. However, as mentioned, the cooler air continues to spill on in. We'll stick with it here today. A little breeze gusting out of the northwest, adding just a little chill to our 45-degree high temperature. Tonight, some clouds, 25. Friday, partial sun, high 50. The weekend starts partly sunny, upper 40s. Showers coming in Saturday night, probably lasting through mid-morning Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The Gordita Supreme is so back at Taco Bell in the $7 Lux Cravings Box, alongside the beefy 5-layer burrito, double stack taco, chips with nacho cheese sauce, and a medium drink at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. While supplies last, drinks exclude freezes, tax extra.
The PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get cashback offers in the app, and when you use the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Watching Clorox cleanup spray dissolve tough grime in the shower feels like...
Wait, this really just happened? Oh, I'm shocked. Underwear and everything?
It feels like being able to zip up your overpacked suitcase on the first try.
Smooth.
With Clorox, clean feels satisfying. Clean feels good. Use as directed.
Summit Dental gives you dental visits without the anxiety. Hey, it's Mark Starling from First News on 570, and that's what they did for me. You know, your comfort is their priority, and they do all they can to put you at ease and personalize that experience. Summit Dental's complimentary comfort menu includes items like aromatherapy, heated neck wraps, and blankets. Dr. Reinhardt and his staff make your dental experience comfortable and one that you understand, moving at your pace and letting you know what they're doing before they do it. Learn more about why Summit Dental is 5-star rated on Google.
This year, we have plenty to celebrate. From reuniting with loved ones, to welcoming new family members, from rediscovering the great outdoors, to perfecting Let's Stay In. At Ingalls, we're so proud to play a part in your everyday adventures and all your celebrations. So here's to taking a pause and taking it all in. Merry Christmas from Ingalls.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup Revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the Tailgate.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the hardest hit areas in those first hours. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes.
I did crimes.
Anybody that can make Tank laugh coming back from the break, you said something that earns points.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Oh, super chat from Sir Jimothy. Tank broke the promise. Never forget 9/11/01.
And apparently he did.
I did. I completely forgot. I thought you were legitimately talking about a football game.
I am so sleep deprived that I'm not even 100% sure y'all are here right now. And I even figured out what he was talking about.
It did not click with me. I was thinking, yes, that wonderful game from 2001. Oh, yeah. That's...
If I just let you go, you'd have been called down the hall like a bad kid.
No doubt about it.
Oh!
No doubt about it. All right. Anyhow, it's time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy, which is...
Don't do crimes.
Don't do crimes, exactly. Don't do crimes. What kind of weird crime have you found out today?
Mine is, it's actually the end of a crime. It's about a healer in the United Kingdom whose name is Hong Chi Zhao.
Mm-hmm.
61 years old.
He's a healer.
The healer.
Okay.
Ran a clinic. The clinic, Zhao is from Irvine, California, but had a clinic in the UK as well.
Eastern medicine, or?
Oh, it's, I don't know, it's stupid. Mm-hmm. It's stupid medicine.
Okay.
You'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay, all right.
So his movement was a different way of expelling poisonous waste from the body.
I don't like where this is going.
No, it's not what you think.
Okay.
It's called patalysin therapy. Basically what this states is that no matter what illness you have, if you smack yourself hard enough times, you will expel the poisonous waste out of your body, and then you will be healthy again. Well, the problem with that is that over the course of time, there are certain things that can't be cured by, slapping the heebie-jeebers out of yourself. Like, I don't know, diabetes, which is what he tried to cure out of two patients who he told them just to slap themselves silly. They did, and they died. He has now been sentenced to 10 years in jail for criminal neglect. I have to ask, and I get it, you're so desperate for a cure. How in the world did you think this worked? You have to slap yourself senseless over and over and over and over again, and eventually you'll just be cured. No, you'll be unconscious. Yeah, I mean, things don't tend to hurt when you can't feel anything because you knocked yourself out. Goober.
Many people don't want to be in the crosshairs of the cops. However, every now and then there's a special dum-dum that apparently just thinks it's fun. This story comes to us from Albuquerque, New Mexico, where a guy named Curtis Van is just, I guess he's tired of living down by the river, and he wanted a new location. Earlier this year, he got in trouble with the cops for stealing a U-Haul and thousands of dollars in merchandise from a local Target store. And apparently that wasn't enough of a run-in with him with police to where just last month he was at a local hotel. And a woman pulls up to the hotel in her car, and boom, she hears something hit the windshield. She rolls down her window to find out what it was, and it was this dude, this Curtis guy. He's just throwing rocks. And she's, why are you throwing rocks at my car? Do you want to go to jail? And the guy said, yeah, I think this is enough to get arrested. And he just keeps throwing rocks at the car. So what did she do? She calls 911, calls the cops. The cops come to the scene, and they see Mr. Curtis still after, I don't know what their response time is, but several minutes at least.
I'll bet it's not as good as the West Buncombe Fire Department's was yesterday.
Maybe not. Anyway, cops get on the scene, and he throws a rock at the cruiser. And the cop gets out, and the cop says, do you want to get arrested? He said, yeah, that's good enough to get arrested, right? She says, I have a subject out here throwing rocks, and he tells me he wants to get arrested. From the body cam footage, it goes like this. So why do you want to go to jail? I just do. Is there like a reason? No. Do you just need somewhere to stay tonight, or what's the deal? Because, homeless people will do that. Houseless individuals will do that.
Our houseless neighbors.
Yes. They may do that sometimes when it gets real cold. They don't want to stay outside, so they break the law, get the cops called, and then 3 hots at a cot for at least a little while. He said, no, I actually stay in room 107. So she says, have you ever been to jail before? He says, yeah. Yeah, I do. I know some dudes there. I'd like to go back. So in that scenario, what do? Do you oblige the guy and take him to jail?
No, I'll arrest him and put him in the back of the car and just leave it sitting outside of a Denny's while I go have breakfast. No, I'm not giving you what you want, you goober.
Yeah. Well, they did. They gave him what he wanted. They filed charges against him for assault on a police officer. Also charged him with filing a false report, which seems kind of weird to me. It's not really filing a false report, but, I guess it is. If you're just creating a nuisance to get the cops to come to you, I guess that is a false report of some sense.
Matthew Hoffman said, I don't know why they call it 3 hots in a cot. It's more like 3 lukewarms in a metal slab.
True. But most of that's due to inflation, so. Thanks, Joe.
I have no less than 11 jokes that I want to tell right now. At least half of them would get me fired. Mm-hmm. You can assume where I was headed with that.
Yeah.
And an unplanned wedding in a pear tree. We have a super chat.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
You didn't like that? You should have heard what I didn't say. This one's from Red Sea. I figured it was pretty easy to infer what I meant by one, but as we all know, tank gonna tank.
No doubt.
I feel like that's a shirt. Tank gonna tank. Just get tank on top of it with a gun in the middle.
Mm.
I feel like I could probably make that happen.
He loves creating his shirts.
And it'll say one job on the collar in the back.
Yeah, I like it. Can you make it go like around the collar like those NBA jerseys? It's got the little saying on the back.
I mean, one job's a pretty short saying. So.
Well, so is diversity, but they put it on the back of jerseys.
Diversity is exactly 2 more letters.
Mm-hmm.
They're bigger letters. Wider.
Mm. I don't know what we're arguing about
here. We're not arguing about anything. No, I can't make it go around the collar.
I just feel like you're not trying hard enough.
One more day.
I
have to survive one more day.
Speaking of shirts, the guys from Mountain Graphics were here this morning presenting $28,000 to the Craig family from the sale of those Craigtown Strong shirts. Just wanted to shout them out because they're good friends of ours. And obviously, they've done a great job for the community, stepping up, helping out the Craig family. Just want to give them another little extra shout-out.
Tim, fantastic guy. I saw him this morning. He's done every shirt that we've ever had on this show. Him and Robbie Wright, the original owner.
Mm-hmm.
They were the original owners, and then Robbie sold to Tim.
Right.
Just, it's a fantastic thing that they did for the community, for the Craigs, and proud to know you.
Mm-hmm. And shirts still available. You can still get some at mountaingraphics.com. What?
Matthew Hoffman said you sound like a nagging wife. No, he doesn't. Talking about my inability to put one job on the top.
Oh.
Yeah. Trust me, as the guy that designs every single thing we do on this show, he does that a lot. Hey, could you make it blink? No, you jackal. I can't make it blink.
Well, it'd be cooler if you did.
It'd be cooler if it's like neon. Neon has halogen in it. That's a picture. I can't make it blink. It's not how that works.
Sure you can. They sell those sweaters that light up. Got the little battery pack in the side, and you can make it blink. I'm just saying it. The technology exists.
Has anybody ever called you an irk?
An irk?
An irk.
An irk.
You can be very irksome sometimes.
Yes, indeed. That's I tell all the most important people in my life, I'm going to annoy you till the day you die.
He is just one big fat irk.
Yes, indeed. Week 15 of the NFL season is fast approaching.
It's here because we have a game tonight.
We do. Have.
How excited are you for this one?
Rams and the 49ers? Not really. Wow. Actually, this moment is the first time that I looked at the line on tonight's game.
Mm-hmm. What'd you find, Tank?
You care to explain this one to me? The San Francisco's a 3-point favorite?
Oh, yeah, because I'm taking San Francisco.
Are you?
For sure.
Why?
Well, these are two teams that do not do a great job of covering spreads.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like now we have gotten to a point where the Rams have played themselves back into playoff contention, so we're overvaluing them, and we've kind of put San Francisco over here in the dead pile, which means we're undervaluing them, and this feels like a just prime spot for San Francisco to go, we're still here. We're still here. None of us are really playoff teams, but we're going to hang around for a minute.
Mm-hmm. I just don't know that they can defend Los Angeles. I mean, Matthew Stafford's playing awesome right now.
Hit him.
Hit him
early and hit him often.
And
this is one of my favorite lines of the year.
Really?
Because I feel like, and I hadn't looked at the bet breakdown until just now, and it's exactly what I would have thought it was. A whole mess of tickets on the Rams, the money's about split, and the short money's on San Francisco. That's exactly how I thought this was going to go.
Mm-hmm. So the smart bet tonight is San Francisco to cover 3 at home.
It's at 2.5 actively.
Oh, okay.
It may have just buoyed. I don't know. My update's in real time. At 3, I don't feel as good. I'd like having that little hook at 2.5, but I'm okay at 3.
Okay.
I think San Francisco and the Rams are borderline the same team. You're very, very flawed. You do a few things well. You do a couple things so unbelievably badly that it's hard for me. The problem with the Rams is that I don't know how you're going to consistently get pressure on San Francisco, and that's been what they have struggled with so much over the course of this year, is that everything's just accelerated. So they don't have enough time to get cute with the offense. I also struggle to believe that San Francisco's just going to roll over and die. Because if they lose this game, I believe we can officially say season's over.
Yes.
At 6-8, you're dead in the water.
Yes. With a win here, you can still keep some hopes alive that you can, chase down one of those last playoff spots. But it's a trajectory thing to me. I feel like Los Angeles is coming together at the right time, and San Francisco's still just flailing.
Oh, yeah. and you got that's even. I didn't even think of that. That's even better. You got the Rams coming off the biggest win of their season. Oh, it's a prime spot to fall flat.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going to be on the other side. I'll be on the Rams side plus the 3 on the road against San Francisco. A lot of points scored in this one, I guess. You're expecting this to be high scoring?
Not really. I'll actually go under the 48.5.
Okay. I'm just not sure how San Francisco limits them. How are they going to keep? I mean,
what? All right, so you're making this sound like the Rams are some juggernaut because they came out and scored a bunch of points against the Bills.
I mean, that's a good start.
It's also one game that you seem to be grossly overvaluing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't feel bad. A lot of other people are too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason that I'm kind of laughing at this, is that Vegas is daring you to do this. Now, look, the Rams could win. San Francisco's been horribly inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, you seem to forget that just 2 weeks ago, this is the same team that could barely break 20 against the New Orleans Saints. They scored 20 against the Eagles. They had 28 against the New England Patriots. They scored 15 against the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't some offensive juggernaut. They've been healthy for several weeks now. They had one really good game. That actually scares me more than anything, because that means this team is so volatile that they're hard to put your thumb on, and people are taking one game and just completely disregarding the rest of the year. I mean,
but at this point, are the Rams not better than the 49ers in your mind?
If they are, it's negligibly, and they're on the road.
Okay.
This game's in San Francisco
Mm-hmm.
or Santa Clara. And it's going to be raining, which to me is 100% advantage San Francisco. I just don't I've never really liked this Ram team. It's not that I don't like them. They just have, I'm trying to think of the way to say this without coming off much more dismissive of the Rams than I mean to.
Mm-hmm.
This team's really, really young, and there are a lot of ways to exploit this team. And I don't. You're talking about how San Francisco is going to stop L.A.?
Yeah.
How in the world are the Rams going to stop San Francisco? I mean, they've marched the ball up and down the field on teams. The problem is they haven't been able to stop teams from scoring on them.
Mm-hmm.
I think the rain plays absolute chaos here. I don't know how much it's supposed to rain. The little weather bug I've got has 15-minute intervals, and it's rained the entire night. But the percentages fluctuate. I don't buy into the Rams.
No.
Anytime I see the public narrative swing away off one game, I will always go the opposite side.
Yeah. All right, L.A. Rams, San Francisco 49ers tonight. 49ers still dealing with a bunch of injuries. Trent Williams still out in this game, so that's going to be a factor. They are down to just Isaac Guerrero, who's also banged up.
He is.
To run the football.
Gonna play tonight.
He is going to play tonight, yes. And Jeremy says this is the spot. This is the spot where San Francisco tries to keep the season alive. More desperation on the side of Kyle Shanahan and company to pull off the win here. Would be a massive letdown spot for the Rams if they do lose this game, especially seeing as how everybody, including myself, fell in love after they outlasted Buffalo last week.
And that's really where my fear comes in, is that a week ago you would not have looked at this number as being really off-putting.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got Dre Greenlaw and Tally Hufanga, as Divine Comedy pointed out, playing tonight for San Francisco.
Okay.
That is
good.
Nice additions.
That is a couple of nice conditions. What did you say?
I said additions.
Additions.
You
I said
conditions.
conditions is not the same thing.
They're both shins, but yours is wrong and mine wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good for you. So get our
It's Christmas time.
shuns in order.
I'll be honest with you. I've done 2 shows today. They've both gone exactly like this. Hey, what was the word you meant? I don't know. It wasn't what I said.
All right, it is the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Michael Meadows wants to know who's got the best numbers tonight. Is it going to be Stafford or Purdy?
I would go Purdy. I've never liked Stafford outside. Not as much, because it takes away the element of the deep ball.
Yep.
I'll go Purdy. I think it was Timothy O'Toole also that asked us Juwan Jennings or T. Higgins. I would go T. Higgins.
Yep.
Juwan could have a big game. The Juwan Jennings thing is just a little volatile to me because I don't know how much it's going to rain. It is a 35% chance or better all night long. And so that kind of limits the upside. And T. Higgins, per game, is like the 8th best receiver in the NFL. He has missed some games that kind of skews people's perspective. So,
anytime touchdown scorer tonight?
Isaac Gorindo and Kyron Williams. That's the given.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting in that end zone at least once.
Yep. Just waiting to, just gathering some more information for my latest failed parlay on Thursday Night Football. It is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. That'll wrap it up for us on a Threadbare Thursday. We'll be back with you tomorrow for
Football Friday.
There it is. We'll see you then at noon.
Cheerio and happy holidays to all. There's two things we Brits do particularly well. It's celebrate the Yuletide season and make a fantastic cocktail. And now, doing both in the proper British way is simpler with Bartesian. Yes, Bartesian! It's the home cocktail maker that's every bit as posh and premium as having your own bartender in the house, without having to worry about providing servants' quarters. Whether your desire is a holiday-spiced old-fashioned by the Yule log or a Clausmopolitan for sipping with your besties, just pop in a capsule, select your strength, push the button, and you're off. Hurry now, old chap, because they're $50 off. Yes, even old Ebenezer Scrooge wouldn't quite be able to turn down such good tidings, made so rapidly and served so well. So turn your holiday party into an event worthy of the blokes across the pond with Bartesian. Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
Experiences make life more meaningful. And with MasterCard's Priceless.com, you can immerse yourself in unforgettable experiences in dining, sports, art, entertainment, and more in over 40 destinations. From a round of golf with a legendary player to a cooking class with a celebrity chef, you can feel your passions and create lasting memories. Explore experiences today at Priceless.com, exclusively for MasterCard cardholders. Terms and conditions apply.
FEMA funding is available to support repairs on private roads and bridges, even if your primary home is not damaged. Volunteer organizations may also be able to help. For more information or to schedule an inspection, call 1-800-621-FEMA. That's 1-800-621-3362. Again, FEMA funding is available to support repairs on private roads and bridges, even if your primary home is not damaged. Call 1-800-621-3362.
That looks perfect. The feeling of getting ready for the holidays, there's nothing like it. Decorating the tree, accessorizing the table, adorning your walls with festive decor, what could be better? Whether you're doing the hosting this holiday or just enjoying some much-needed downtime with your favorites, at Ashley you'll find all the things you need to make your home as jolly as can be at prices that slay. Spruce up your space for the holidays with Ashley. Visit your local Ashley or shop online at ashley.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Daniel, a veteran who accompanied law enforcement and other veterans to perform search and rescue operations. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Nice look at Thursday afternoon. However, as mentioned, the cooler air continues to spill on in. We'll stick with it here today. A little breeze gusting out of the northwest, adding just a little chill to our 45-degree high temperature. Tonight, some clouds, 25. Friday, partial sun, high 50. The weekend starts partly sunny, upper 40s. Showers coming in Saturday night, probably lasting through mid-morning Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by PayPal.
This season, the PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get exclusive cashback offers in the app. And with the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
It's the holiday season, and nobody deserves a holiday more than the people of Western North Carolina. All the best to you, your family, and friends. From everyone at News Radio 570, WWNC.
Is your home ready for a refresh? Elevation Restoration and Floor Cleaning has you covered. From area rugs and carpets to hardwood floors, concrete, and furniture, they're your go-to team for all things clean and restored. Family owned and operated, they bring top quality service to every job. So why wait? Call Jacob today at 818-216-4605 or visit elevationrestorationnc.com. Elevation Restoration and Floor Cleaning for floors that feel brand new.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
At Harbor Freight, our low prices make us the place for gifts that keep on giving. Because when you give the gift of quality tools, you're giving someone the ability to fix, restore, and build for years to come. And with savings like these, you can even get something for yourself. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. Stop by and give yourself the gift of great prices.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station. From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Coaching style and what he does, it means so much.